Chapter 1146. They're all dead. Lu Rolan was dumbfounded. She thought that the extraterrestrial fiend was dead for sure once a divine realm cultivator appeared. As someone close to the extraterrestrial fiend, she wouldn't be able to escape either. Who would have thought that this guy would rise up and instantly kill the elder from the Hall of Souls, killing a divine realm cultivator? His achievements were shocking. The luxuriously robed man with a powerful background had also died tragically in the man's hands. None of them were spared. If the man was from the Blood Soul mainland, he might be worried that he had offended some big shot. However, the opponent was an extraterrestrial fiend. Why would he be afraid? If anything went wrong, he could escape immediately and leave the Blood Soul mainland. Who could do anything to him then? Perhaps this extraterrestrial fiend really has a chance to kill the Hall of Souls master of Huining City. Lu Rolan clenched her fists. She couldn't help but feel a glimmer of hope for revenge. Whoosh! At that moment, Xia Ping put away the moon god ship. He couldn't reveal such a powerful weapon. This luxuriously robed man has soul stones. Xia Ping soon discovered that a bag dropped from the luxuriously robed man's body after he killed him. He grabbed it and opened it to find 4 to 5 soul stones. Apart from the luxuriously robed man, he also found 4 to 5 soul stones on the Hall of Souls elder. He held the soul stones in his hand and immediately felt his soul power grow a little. As expected of the legendary mystical stones. If I devour these soul stones and the peace bloom, it'll definitely benefit me greatly. I might even be able to reach the mid-stage fulfillment realm soon. Xia Ping clenched his fists. He didn't expect to complete the mission so quickly. If he left now, the mission would be considered completed without any effort. The problem was that he didn't come to the Blood Soul mainland just to obtain a soul stone. He wanted to obtain more benefits. By the way, Xia Ping, it's best not to consume the peace bloom now. At that moment, Corinne's voice was heard. Why? Xia Ping asked. Corinne said in a deep voice, this mystical flower is a very precious spiritual medicine even in the universe. It's no less than a sacred medicine especially for cultivators who are about to advance to divine realm. If you consume the peace bloom flower when you are at the peak of the fulfillment realm, you will enter a state of enlightenment. That way, you will be able to form more martial arts and solidify your martial foundation. For divine tier cultivators, being able to comprehend more martial arts and mystiques would naturally make them stronger. It told Xia Ping that a normal divine tier cultivator could only form one martial arts divine tier ability, but a true monster could form 3, 5 or even more. The more god powers one mastered, the more powerful their combat power would be. It could be said that depending on the god powers they mastered, there was a huge gap between the god power realm cultivators. Of course, it didn't mean that the more mystical abilities one had, the better. It also depended on the quality of the martial path mystical abilities. If the quality wasn't good enough and it wasn't strong enough, learning more would be useless. It would only be considered as making up the numbers. Some martial artists who had only learned one ancient martial path divine ability were able to match 2 or 3 ordinary divine abilities of ordinary martial artists. Fiend. At that moment, Lu Rolan stepped forward and said, we can't stay here any longer. We have to escape. Why? Xia Ping blinked his eyes, very puzzled. You're asking why? Do you know who the person you just killed was? Lu Rolan gritted her teeth and said, if I'm not wrong, that old man should be a renowned elder of the Soul Palace. His position is higher than the palace masters of the various palaces. There's only one person in the world who can command a Soul Palace elder, and that's the palace master of the Soul Palace, Chang Shisheng. This luxuriously robed young man is probably Chang Shisheng's son. Her expression was very serious. Only now did she realize the severity of this matter. However, it was too late to stop Xia Ping now. The person was already dead. There was no way to stop him even if she wanted to. Think about it carefully. Now that the Soul Palace Master's son, an elder, and many elites have died tragically in this place. Chang Shisheng will probably be enraged. Lu Rolan gritted her teeth and said, once the Soul Palace Master is enraged, the world will be turned upside down. There's no place for us in the entire Blood Soul mainland. If Chang Shisheng finds out that we killed his son, the consequences will be unimaginable. She felt that following behind this fiend was her 8 lifetimes of bad luck. She had provoked such trouble for no reason. Once this crime was discovered, killing her entire family would be a light punishment. If they were caught, it would be hard for them to die even if they wanted to. In the Blood Soul mainland, the Soul Palace Master was a god. His orders could not be disobeyed unless they wanted to die. Of course, she knew that this conflict was unavoidable. The Soul Palace Master's son clearly wanted to kill them all and take the Peace God flower for himself. If the Soul Palace Master's son didn't die, they would be the ones dead. The Soul Palace Master's son. We caught a big fish this time. Xia Ping rubbed his chin and his eyes lit up. He did not expect things to be so coincidental. The person he killed was the Soul Palace Master's son. Big fish my ass. It was already a dead fish. Not even a hair was left. Lu Rolan spat at Xia Ping in her heart. She could sense that this fiend clearly wanted to see the world in chaos. Wait, what are you doing? Suddenly, she found that Xia Ping had moved all the nearby corpses together and stacked them into a hill. Then, he seemed to be writing a few big characters on a nearby rock. The murderer, Master Mateto, specially came here as a souvenir. Are you crazy? Lu Rolan was dumbstruck. Not only did this fellow not escape after killing the Soul Palace Lord's son, but he was also afraid that others wouldn't know he did it. He even dared to leave his name here and point out that he did it. Was he trying to drive the Soul Palace Master crazy? If the Soul Palace Master saw this scene, the entire Blood Soul mainland would probably be shaken. Countless powerful enemies would come looking for trouble with this fiend. Being killed on the spot would be a good thing. The scariest thing would be being captured alive and not being able to control one's life. It's fine. I just want them to know about this. It'll be fun now. Xia Ping squinted his eyes. Fun my ass. Lu Rolan felt despair in her heart. Her face turned green and she regretted it too late. Back then, why did she foolishly follow this fiend and even wanted to use him? Now that this had happened, even if she successfully took revenge and killed the Soul Palace Master in Huining City, she would not have a place in the Blood Soul mainland in the future. She was afraid that she would not be able to establish herself in the Blood Soul mainland in the future. She would definitely become the most wanted criminal in the history of the Blood Soul mainland, and countless people would want her head. Chapter 1147. A few days later. At the spot where Xia Ping had first landed on the Blood Soul continent, a spaceship appeared in the sky. With a thud, it gently landed on the ground, kicking up a cloud of dust. Pa! Immediately, the hatch of the spaceship opened, and 7 figures walked out. All of them exuded a monstrous murderous aura. Blood filled the air, as if dyeing the sky red. These 7 people were the famous 7 Kills gang. In order to be fully prepared to kill Xia Ping, they had arrived at the Blood Soul continent a few days late. However, it would be impossible to complete the mission on the Blood Soul continent without a few months, so they were not worried that Xia Ping would complete the mission and leave now. We've finally arrived at the Blood Soul continent. Be careful. This place is the territory of the Soul race. They are all proficient in secret mind techniques and have strange methods. If you're not careful, you won't even know how you died. It's said that this is the burial ground of the universe's martial artists. Who knows how many people have died here? It's terrifying. But there's no need to worry. Lord Kuang Tu has given us some treasures that can resist mind attacks. I believe that the Soul race won't be able to hurt us no matter how powerful they are. As long as we can find Xia Ping and kill him, we'll complete the mission. Either he dies or we die. We have no other choice. A cold glint flashed in the eyes of the 7 Kills gang. They were under the restriction of St. Kwang Tuesday. If they did not complete the mission and could not kill Xiaoping, they would definitely be killed by the furious St. Kwang Tuesday. Therefore, they were destined to fight to the death with Xiaoping. Don't worry. According to the intelligence, that kid is only a fulfillment realm cultivator. Even if he's a disciple of a saint, he can't be more powerful than us divine realm cultivators. Moreover, the enemy is in the open while we're in the dark. We have the absolute advantage. As long as we catch him off guard, we can assassinate him successfully. Then, we can retreat successfully. The one who spoke was the leader of the 7 Kills gang, Fang Di. He was an expert in puppetry. One person was equivalent to an army. What he often did was control the puppets to carry out suicidal attacks. When they got close to the target, they would explode on the spot. No matter how many bodyguards the target had, they would still be killed by the explosion. However, because his assassination had caused too much of a commotion and caused countless civilian deaths, he had become the most wanted criminal in the 7 Kills gang with the highest bounty. Big Brother is right. That brat is nothing to worry about. As long as we find him, he will definitely die. Now, our goal is to find his whereabouts, capture and kill him. It's that simple. The one who spoke was the 7th brother, Kong Nuo. His appearance was neither male nor female, it was either yin or yang, like a transvestite. His voice was also a little eccentric, making one's hair stand on end. He was an expert in the art of disguise. It was said that he had 1,000 faces on his body. Whenever he sneaked into a crowd, no police would be able to track him. According to our intelligence, this should be the place where Xiaoping first landed. However, so much time had passed, and no one knew where he had gone. Oh right, 2nd brother, can you track down that kid's whereabouts? Fang Cheng looked at his 2nd brother. The 2nd brother's name was Mao Bu, and he was an expert in tracking. He had mastered a martial arts mystical ability called wind-chasing nose, which could sniff out targets from thousands of miles away and distinguish thousands of different scents. He was even more sensitive than a dog's nose. Those who were tracked by him, no matter where they fled to, would not be able to escape from his grasp. Don't worry, this is just child's play. Mao Bu laughed sinisterly, I can smell the scent on that brat's body. A few days ago, he stopped at this place. Other than that, there also seems to be the scent of different people. They are probably all from the Soul Clan. Both sides had a very intense conflict, but they were all killed by this brat. Oh right, there seems to be a very fragrant scent in the air. It was left behind by a very beautiful young woman. She seems to be working with that kid. She's quite lucky with women. With a light sniff, he seemed to know what had happened in this place a few days ago. Fuck, is that kid here to complete a mission or to pick up girls? He just landed on the Blood Soul continent and he's already picked up a beauty from the Soul tribe. It looks like he's a hero saving the damsel in distress. What's so great about being a disciple of a saint? Can he be so impudent and flirt everywhere? These disciples of big sects are all like that. They rely on their good looks and money to get into trouble everywhere they go. After picking up all the beauties, they run away after getting pregnant. They have no sense of responsibility at all. That's why they deserve to die. All handsome men have to die. The 7 Kill gang and the others gritted their teeth in hatred. One had to know that those who came to the Blood Soul continent were prepared to die because the death rate was more than 99%. Which one of them did not land on the Blood Soul continent in fear and trepidation, afraid that they would be surrounded and attacked by the natives? But this kid had just landed on the Blood Soul continent not long ago, and he was already trying to be a hero saving the damsel in distress. He even hooked up with a beauty from the Soul tribe. Was there any justice in this world? To be honest, 2 or 3 of them had suffered some trauma in their hearts. There was once a wife who ran away with a pretty boy from a big sect. She left a note saying that she was going to pursue her true love. Love your ass. Didn't she just look down on him for being poor, old, and ugly? It was because they had encountered such a thing before that their minds were all twisted. They wanted nothing more than to catch up with Xia Ping and kill him for the sake of the people. All beautiful women deserve to die. They need to be poisoned to death. The one who spoke was the third sister, Yun Xiaotong. Her tone was strange and sinister. She looked very old, like a witch, and her skin was like the bark of a 100-year-old tree. She looked very old, like she was in her 70s or 80s. In fact, she was only 30. But because she had been cultivating poison all year round, the poison had attacked her heart, causing her appearance to change greatly. That was why she looked like an old woman. But because of this, she especially hated those young and beautiful women. Once she saw them, she wanted to splash acid on them and disfigure them, making them follow in her footsteps. Moreover, destroying the faces of those beautiful women gave her a strange kind of pleasure. Second brother, where is that kid? The eldest brother, Fang Chen, looked at his second brother, Mao Bu, with a fierce look in his eyes. Big brother, he should be in the east. Although we don't know how far he has gone, he must have left many traces along the way. He won't be able to escape. Mao Bu laughed cruelly. He had not only learned the wind-chasing nose martial arts, but he had also been trained in the army and was proficient in all kinds of tracking techniques. The people of the Jianghu called him a hound. Once he targeted someone, there was absolutely no chance of escape other than death. Good, let's go and catch up with that kid. Fang Chen ordered. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Chapter 1148. At the same time, where the luxurious robed man and the others died, several hundred black-clothed people appeared. They completely sealed off the valley, and all of them emitted powerful auras. They were all at least at the fulfillment realm. There were even dozens of divine ability realm cultivators. This force was enormous, and could be said to be Soul Palace's true elites. Among this group of people was a 2-meter-tall middle-aged man. He had a square face, and his body was fat like a ball, seeming to weigh at least a ton. He had a superior aura on him, as if he was used to being high up. The surrounding black-clothed people all surrounded him like loyal subordinates. None of them dared to even breathe loudly, afraid of angering the middle-aged man in front of them. This middle-aged man was none other than Soul Palace's Palace Master Chang Shisheng, a peak divine ability realm cultivator. His face was extremely gloomy and dark. He stared at the corpse on the ground, as well as the words written on a huge rock. Killer Wu Taidu, what a good Wu Taidu. My son was killed by him. Chang Shisheng's face was full of dark clouds, and he let out an angry roar. A terrifying mental storm immediately exploded from his body, sweeping in all directions. The surrounding black-clothed people all retreated, their lungs heavily injured, and a sliver of blood seeped out of their mouths. In fact, with his body as the center, the entire ground was shaken into a crater that was several kilometers deep. Countless cracks appeared, and with a cracking sound, the cracks extended more than 10 kilometers away. All the savage beasts in the surrounding 10 kilometers all fled in fright, marking this place as a temporary forbidden ground. He clenched his fists, his heart filled with anger. Because he couldn't contact his son a few days ago, and couldn't even contact a Soul Palace elder, he immediately had a bad premonition. Thus, he sent his subordinates to track his son. He never expected that they would find his son, Soul Palace elder, and many Soul Palace elites' corpses in this forest valley. All of them were incomplete, and couldn't be more dead. Seeing his son's corpse, he almost fainted. Though this wasn't his only son, he was one of the most talented, and received a lot of love from him, even being raised as his successor. Even when he went out to train, he would send a divine tier elder to protect him in the dark, afraid that something might happen. Who would have thought that even with such defensive conditions, his son would still die? He was killed on the spot, and his corpse could not be preserved in a perfect state. One could imagine how angry Chang Shisheng was right now. If Master Potato appeared in front of him, he would definitely dismember this guy's body, capture his soul, and torture him day and night. Lord Hall Master. One of his men stepped forward and said, "I'm afraid that Master Potato isn't a member of our soul race, but an extraterrestrial demon. Look at the traces of battle here, there are traces of flames that haven't been extinguished for a long time." The rocks turned into magma as if a volcano erupted. Without a doubt, the one who killed the young master is an expert who has grasped the flame divine ability. However, our soul race doesn't have this kind of power, so the murderer must be an extraterrestrial fiend. He was certain that the murderer was not a soul race clansman. One had to know that the luxuriously robed man's status was extremely noble. He was the son of the Soul Palace's palace master. He was below one and above tens of thousands of people. If it was a soul race divine ability realm expert, it was impossible for them to attack the young master. Only those daring and unscrupulous extraterrestrial fiends would dare to do such a thing. The other Soul Palace elites also nodded, agreeing with this point. Because, according to the battlefield's environment, there was a terrifying heat that hadn't dissipated even after a few days. Other than the extraterrestrial fiends, there was no one else who could grasp this kind of divine ability power. Extraterrestrial fiend, this extraterrestrial fiend sure has guts. Chang Shisheng was furious, he killed my son and still dares to leave his name here. Is he afraid that I don't know that he's the real murderer? Simply arrogant to the extreme. He was so mad that his face turned red. He had never seen such an arrogant murderer in his life. In the Blood Soul continent, he was the sky, the god. When had he ever seen anyone who dared to disobey his orders? Everyone was respectful and fearful, afraid that they would anger him and bring disaster upon themselves. Not to mention that someone had killed his son and dared to reveal his identity, carving such words on a nearby rock as if afraid that he wouldn't know. Just how much did this extraterrestrial fiend want to look down on him? His eyes were spitting out flames of anger. Lord Palace Master, this extraterrestrial fiend is indeed arrogant. He even dares to leave his name here. This is clearly a provocation. He's clearly coming for our Soul Palace. Could it be that these extraterrestrial fiends want to start a war with our Soul Clan again? Damn extraterrestrial fiend, this matter can't end like this. We must make Master Potato pay the price. Even the elders died in his hands. This hatred is absolutely irreconcilable. Many Soul Palace elders were gnashing their teeth. They were also thoroughly angered by this matter. If they didn't kill this arrogant Master Potato, what prestige would Soul Palace have in the future? Pass on my order. Chang Shisheng roared like thunder, immediately inform everyone in the Blood Soul continent that this extraterrestrial fiend Master Potato is listed as the most wanted criminal in the Blood Soul continent. Kill him without mercy. If anyone can kill this Master Potato, they will immediately get a generous reward. They will be promoted to nobility. He wanted Master Potato to be wanted in the entire continent and proposed a shocking reward. Even if this extraterrestrial fiend was very good at hiding, under the power of Soul Palace, he couldn't hide. As long as this extraterrestrial fiend dared to show his head and reveal his identity, he would definitely die in the encirclement of countless experts in the Blood Soul continent. He would be beaten to death with sticks. There was absolutely no reason for him to survive. As the Soul Palace's palace master, it could be said that he almost controlled the entire Blood Soul continent's power and military power. With a single order, hundreds of millions of troops would be mobilized and the entire continent would boil. Once this Master Potato showed his head in the Blood Soul continent, he would definitely die. Yes, Palace Master. We must kill Master Potato. For Palace Master's work, we will definitely sacrifice our lives. Many Soul Palace elders roared. They felt the same way and expressed that they would definitely catch this arrogant Master Potato to avenge the Palace Master's son. Let alone the fact that the extraterrestrial fiend Master Potato was a murderer that everyone should kill, just the fact that he killed so many elites of the Soul Clan was already a capital crime. This debt of blood must be paid with blood. Immediately, countless cities in the Blood Soul continent received the news of the extraterrestrial fiend Master Potato being wanted. Many experts also knew this earth-shattering information. Chapter 1149. I actually met other people who came to the Blood Soul continent. Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. He did not expect such a coincidence. There were relatively few people who entered the Blood Soul continent for missions. After all, the death rate had scared many people. Moreover, the Blood Soul continent was so huge that it was scattered all over the place. It was very difficult to meet each other even if one wanted to. Usually, one would not meet other people when carrying out missions. However, he did not expect to meet 3 or 4 universal martial artists in this place so coincidentally. Those few people obviously saw the appearance of Xia Ping and Lu Rulan and were instantly overjoyed. They thought that reinforcements had arrived. However, after taking a closer look, Xia Ping and Lu Rulan only had fulfillment realm cultivation, just like them. Such strength, in the face of 20 black-toothed wolves, was just a drop in the bucket. It was useless. Roar! At this moment, the black-toothed wolves behind them roared angrily. They thought that these damned humans had come to rescue them again. Their eyes were bloodshot and cruel. They were excited because they thought that they had more food. Their speed of pursuit was even more shocking. They set off a monstrous gale and the wind pressure was shocking. The trees around them were crushed into pieces. Kill them. Xia Ping did not take action. Instead, he ordered Lu Rulan. There was no need for him to take action against such ferocious beasts. Lu Rulan stood out. She formed a seal with her hands and immediately used the Soul Clan's secret mental technique, Soul Shock Skill. Boom! Suddenly, a terrifying mental shock exploded from her body. It was as if it had caused a resonance between heaven and earth and bombarded the group of black-toothed wolves. The black-toothed wolves immediately let out shrill cries. They felt as if their heads had been hit by a heavy hammer. Even their souls were trembling. After a few bangs, they could not withstand such a shock at all. Their internal organs were severely damaged, and even their brains were severely damaged. After a few breaths, the black-toothed wolves fell to the ground, spat out a mouthful of blood, and died suddenly. More than 20 black-toothed wolves were killed just like that. So powerful. The few young men were dumbfounded and could not believe their eyes. They were all cultivators of the same realm, but the black-toothed wolves chased them like stray dogs. However, they were extremely fragile in front of this woman. She killed all the black-toothed wolves with just one blow. I've become stronger. Lu Rulan was satisfied with the effect that she had created. If she had not met Xia Ping, she would not have been able to deal with more than 20 black-toothed wolves. But after traveling with Xia Ping, she had been constantly eating vicious beast meat, strengthening her physique. Her body was several times stronger than before, and she could also withstand more soul force. She even felt a very strange thing. While she was by Xia Ping's side, she felt an inexplicable and great power from this strange fellow. This also caused her soul power to grow much faster than before. It was as if she was bathing in the light of a divine tree, causing her heavenly soul body to evolve. However, it was not convenient for her to say this out loud. She could only feel puzzled. She did not know what secrets this fiend had. Why would she have such a strange reaction when she was by his side? Not good, this woman seems to be a native of the Blood Soul continent. However, those people reacted quickly. They realized that they had just escaped from the wolf's den and had entered the tiger's den. One must know that the indigenous people of the Blood Soul continent had a strong hostility towards the warriors of the universe. Once they were discovered, it would definitely be a fight to the death. Now that this woman was so terrifying that she could kill more than 20 black-toothed wolves with a single blow, it would not be difficult for her to kill the few of them. Immediately, the few of them wanted to escape. Brother, don't be afraid. I'm not from the Soul Clan. You must have also entered the Blood Soul continent to complete a mission, right? Xia Ping said, revealing his identity. He was not a native of the Blood Soul continent. At the same time, he waved his hand gently, and a ball of flame appeared in his palm. What? Hearing this, the three of them were immediately delighted. Since he could control the power of flames, he was definitely not a native of the Blood Soul continent. He was definitely a warrior from the outer domain like them. After all, the people of the Soul clan were only good at secret mind skills. They had not dabbled in other powers. Yes, we are disciples from the Lingyun sect. This time, we are here to complete a mission in the Blood Soul continent. A young man in a gray robe said, My name is Chang Xian. These three are from the same sect as me. They are Wang Chen, Wei Qi, and Jin Zhe. Thank you for your help this time. By the way, what is your name, brother? They all looked at Xia Ping. My name is Master Potato. I am a rogue cultivator. Xia Ping blinked his eyes. Although the Blood Soul continent was controlled by many sects, occasionally there were rogue cultivators who came to perform tasks. Of course, if you want to enter the Blood Soul continent, as a rogue cultivator, you will also have to pay a great price. However, this situation was not uncommon. Master Potato. Hearing this, Chang Xian and the others suddenly became a little strange. They looked up and down at Xia Ping. What's wrong? What's the problem? Xia Ping asked curiously. Chang Xian coughed. Brother Potato, I'm really sorry. Because of your name, we thought of a big event that happened in the 5 major star areas under the jurisdiction of our Lingyun sect. A big event? What's the big event? Xia Ping showed a confused look. It's like this. Recently, a super liar appeared in the 5 major star areas of our Lingyun sect. He is called the Invincible Swindler. Yes, this liar is shameless. He is quite shameless. His skin is thicker than a chopping board. He likes to deceive noble children and cheated them of tens of millions of universe dollars. What's even more hateful is that recently, this bastard has become worse. A few months ago, he appeared in the virtual city and set up a shocking scam. He cheated more than $1 billion universe dollars, and the number of victims reached millions. This matter became the headlines that day. Who knows how many people want to find him for revenge, but now he doesn't dare to show up. He has been missing for a long time. Yes, I have a relative who was cheated of hundreds of thousands of universe dollars by this bastard. He bought a lot of fake shoes and now he can only eat instant noodles every day. He hates that invincible swindler. Every day, he pokes little people to curse him. Chang Xian and the others chattered. When they talked about invincible swindler, they hated him to the core. Cheated more than $1 billion universe dollars. That's amazing. It's really a big swindler. Xia Ping nodded and felt the same. Such a swindler should be punished by everyone. Isn't that so? So when we heard your name, brother, it was a little similar to that swindler. We thought you were his brother, and it almost scared us. But thinking about it carefully, there's no such coincidence. I almost misunderstood you just now. I'm really sorry. Chang Xian laughed. Chapter 1150. However, Brother Wu, don't blame me for talking too much. Chang Xian's eyes flickered as he stared at Lu Rulan, who was next to Xia Ping. If I'm not wrong, this lady isn't from our universe. She's from the Soul clan. The other three looked at Lu Rulan too. Humph. Lu Rulan was unhappy with their gazes. She snorted coldly but didn't say anything. That's right. She's not a martial artist from the universe but a lady from the Soul clan. Xia Ping admitted generously. When I landed earlier, I subdued her. She's my slave now. Don't worry. She can't do anything now. Slave. Chang Xian and the rest were instantly envious. They could tell that Lu Rulan was of the highest quality. If she wasn't born in the Blood Soul mainland but in the universe, she would probably be a saintess of a large sect. She had a noble and holy aura, a tall and sexy body, and a perfect face. She was of the highest quality. She was the goddess that many men dreamed of. However, she had become this brat's slave. One could imagine what this brat did to her every night. He was probably exhausted. Brother Wu, this lady from the Soul clan doesn't look simple. How did you subdue her? Wang Chen asked curiously. They didn't dare to underestimate Lu Rulan after the previous scene. She killed more than 20 black-toothed wolves in one move. Her strength was extremely terrifying. Even if they fought together, they wouldn't be a match for this lady from the Soul clan. If they couldn't control her, she wouldn't be a goddess but a she-devil. They would be afraid that this lady would chop off their heads when they slept. They wouldn't be able to sleep well. There's no secret. It's just that we fall in love over time. Xia Ping said casually and shared his experience. Hi. Brother, you're amazing. There's a double meaning in your words. Wang Chen and the rest gave him a thumbs up. They were impressed and jealous. As expected, this brat had already fucked such a beauty from the Soul clan. They didn't know how many positions this bastard made this beauty perform at night. They were far behind compared to him. They had to stay in the forest and be chased by beasts while this brat had a beauty as his companion. His days were so comfortable. But to be honest, I don't like such a lady. The highest quality in this world isn't a lady but a boy. Xia Ping revealed an unfathomable look. How so? Wang Chen and the rest asked curiously. Think about it, young mistress is an experienced woman. When you pat her butt, she knows to change positions. When you lie down, she knows to sit down. When you stand up, she knows to kneel down. When you kneel down, she knows to pout. Xia Ping shook his head. But young girls, if you pat her butt, she'll turn around and yell, "Are you crazy? Why did you hit me for no reason?" This is the difference between a young girl and a young man. It's still a long way off. He lamented for a long time. Brother, you're the real expert. You have penetrating insight. Just how many women did he fuck to have such knowledge? We're all convinced. Please allow us to respectfully call you Big Brother. Chang Xian and others were full of admiration. They didn't know how many women the Master Potato Brothers had to have such knowledge. For rookies like them, they really didn't know how far the naked man was from them. This was the difference in life experience. They couldn't be compared. Beast, pervert. Hearing this, Lu Rulan blushed and spat at Xia Ping in her heart. As expected of an extraterrestrial fiend, he couldn't get away from that kind of thing. He only thought about such shameless things all day. If this bastard man's head was split open, it was guaranteed that the word woman would be all over it. A beast that only thought with the lower half of his body. Why didn't such an evil creature get struck by lightning a few times? You're too polite. It's just some insignificant knowledge. It's not worth mentioning. Xia Ping waved his hand. Big Brother Potato, since everyone is so congenial, then we don't want to hide anything. Chang Xian said in a deep voice. Actually, we came to this place with a purpose. Purpose? What purpose? Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. Chang Xian said, previously, we received news that a soul stone mine appeared nearby. However, it's heavily guarded by the Soul Hall. If it's just one person, it's impossible to break through. However, if our universe's warriors unite and gather helpers, then we'll have a chance to break through this soul stone mine, kill these Soul Clan natives, and snatch the soul stones. That way, we'll be able to complete the mission, obtain the soul stones, and leave this godforsaken place. He stated the purpose of his group's visit. What? Xia Ping was shocked. He initially thought that he and Lu Rulan were the only ones who knew about the soul stone mine. He didn't expect the news to be so widespread. It was strange that Chang Xian and the rest knew about it too. Lu Rolan was dumbfounded too. She didn't know what was going on either. The Soul Stone Mine was supposed to be an extremely confidential matter. However, why did the extraterrestrial fiends know about it now? She was in a state of confusion and had no idea what was going on. Could it be that Huining City's Soul Hall Master accidentally leaked the news to the extraterrestrial fiends? At that moment, she felt very complicated. How did you receive the news? Xia Ping asked. A senior from the Guiyuan sect told us. Chang Xian said honestly, we accidentally bumped into each other. In the end, the senior from the Guiyuan sect wanted to gather many experts to plan something big. He wants to destroy the Soul Stone Mine and snatch the Soul Stones. In reality, the senior has already gathered the Soaring Clouds sect, Five Elemental sect, Flying Celestial sect, Guiyuan sect, and the other sections. They've gathered together. There are 100 of them, and they're waiting for the day to attack the Soul Stone Mine. This time, we're planning to head to that location and meet up with our seniors and juniors. Xia Ping knew that the Soaring Clouds sect, Five Elemental sect, Flying Celestial sect, and Guiyuan sect were the few sage sects in the nearby universe. Both parties were equally powerful. Furthermore, dangerous missions such as the Blood Soul Continent were usually completed in groups. It was rare for a person to fight alone like Lin Huang. If the seniors and juniors helped and supported each other, the success rate of the mission would be much higher. At the same time, they carried communication devices with them. Even if they were far away, they could still contact each other without worrying about losing each other's traces. Oh yes, Brother Wu. What do you think? Are you willing to join our plan to attack the Soul Stone Mine? Chang Xian and the rest looked at Xia Ping in anticipation. Xia Ping thought for a while and said, no problem. With everyone's help, I believe the danger of completing the mission will be greatly reduced. There's no reason not to participate in such a good thing. That's great. With Brother Wu joining us, our power will definitely increase greatly. Chang Xian and the rest were delighted. They would not underestimate Xia Ping. To be able to tame such a powerful lady from the Soul Clan, one could imagine how powerful he was. Chapter 1151. Deep within the forest, in a remote campsite. Many tents had appeared in this place. They were all brought over by the universe's martial artists as a temporary place to camp. The largest tent was the size of a house, and many people were gathered there at the moment. At that moment, Chang Xian and the other Soaring Clouds sect disciples brought Xia Ping and Lu Rolan over. They had traveled a long distance and ran for a full 2 hours before arriving. This is where the extraterrestrial demons gather. Lu Rolan followed Xia Ping, feeling nervous. She had never been to such a terrifying place in her life. There were extraterrestrial demons everywhere, and it was basically a gathering place for demons. If there was even the slightest mistake, he would probably die and his Tao would disappear. Fortunately, Xia Ping was there to hold the fort. Otherwise, she would not have dared to come to such a terrifying place. Of course, without Xia Ping, she would not have known that such a gathering place existed. However, the atmosphere was heavy at the moment. Many of them were staring at Xia Ping and Lu Rolan with a mocking look on their faces. Chang Xian, what's the meaning of this? The one who spoke was a young man in a white robe. He said, we noticed that you're disciples of the Soaring Clouds sect, so you're more or less capable. That's why we invited you to do this business. But you brought 2 strangers here. One of them is a powerless wandering cultivator, and the other is a native of the Blood Soul mainland. Are you fucking kidding me? He was a disciple of the Returning Clouds sect. His name was Feng Zhe, and he was at the peak of the fulfillment realm. He spoke arrogantly. The others were disciples of the Soaring Clouds sect, the Returning Clouds sect, the Flying Celestial sect, and the Five Elements sect. They were all from famous righteous sects, and they had powerful forces backing them up. Moreover, they were all powerful and confident in themselves to dare to participate in the Blood Soul Mainland's mission. Feng Zhe, please believe me. Brother Wu is a wandering cultivator, but he's not weak. He'll be of great help to our mission, Chang Xian hurriedly explained. Benefits my ass. Feng Zhe sneered. We're all disciples from famous righteous sections. He's the only wandering cultivator who can't even join a sect. What kind of strength does a piece of trash like him have? Truth be told, we have over 100 of us, all of whom are at least Fulfillment Realm and 7 or 8 early Divine Tier cultivators. Why don't you tell us how we'll benefit from this brat joining us? His attitude was very arrogant, and it was obvious that he had a great prejudice against Xia Ping, who was a wandering cultivator. His contempt was obvious. In the universe, the disparity between levels was even stricter. If one was a rogue cultivator, they would be seen as someone without any strength or background, and anyone could bully them. To put it in an exaggerated way, individual cultivators were basically jobless, equivalent to beggars without a university degree. They could only do some manual labor to support themselves. Apart from that, they had no other skills. As for those who came from a prestigious sect, they were equivalent to students who had graduated from a prestigious university. How could such people treat unemployed people differently? It's not beneficial to us, but it's beneficial to him. Originally, it would have been extremely difficult for him to complete the missions of the Blood Soul Mainland by himself. However, after joining us, he'll be able to ride on our coattails and rise rapidly. He wants to cling to our thighs, but whether or not we let him is another matter. If he kneels down and kowtows, maybe I'll consider it. Many people sneered. They crossed their arms in front of their chests and looked at Xia Ping mockingly. You! Chang Xian and the others were very angry. They did not expect that they would be looked down upon and ridiculed by this group of people who had kindly brought an expert to join them. Chang Xian, for the sake of the Soaring Clouds sect, I can temporarily let go of this matter. However, it's a little too much for you to let a rogue cultivator join us and drag us down. This is not a game of house, but a battle of life and death. If we're not careful, we'll all die. That's right. Moreover, he has a native of the Blood Soul Mainland with him. Although she's a slave, who knows if she'll leak the news to other natives of the Blood Soul Mainland. Once the news gets out, we'll all be finished. A person who suddenly appeared out of nowhere is not trustworthy at all. Several people shouted, expressing that they did not accept Xia Ping joining them. To them, not only did this kid have no strength, but he also posed a great risk. No matter how they looked at it, they felt that Xia Ping joining them would not bring them any benefits. On the contrary, there were many disadvantages. Scram! Feng Zhe waved his hand as if he was shooing away a fly. Don't stay here. You're an eyesore. Being with someone like you is simply polluting the air here. Brother Wu. Chang Xian and the others looked at Xia Ping apologetically. They had initially wanted to bring Xia Ping into the team out of goodwill, but they did not expect something like this to happen and Xia Ping to be humiliated. It's all right. Since you don't want me to join, I won't join you. It's no big deal. Xia Ping looked indifferent. He was not affected at all. True strength came from himself. The contempt of others could not hurt him at all. To him, meeting this team was just an accident. Since they did not want him to join and their attitude was very unfriendly, there was no need for him to stay in this place. He turned to leave with Lu Rulan as he thought about this. Wait, kid. You can leave, but the woman beside you has to stay, Feng Zhe suddenly said. He looked at Lu Rulan maliciously with a greedy look in his eyes. The few young men around him snickered. What? Chang Xian and the others were shocked as they looked at Feng Zhe in disbelief. They knew what Feng Zhe was planning right away. He obviously had his eyes on the woman beside Xia Ping and wanted to snatch her. Lu Rulan's heart skipped a beat. She had been on high alert just now. She did not expect an accident to happen after hearing that she could leave. She was stopped on the spot. With so many extraterritorial demons present, it would be difficult for her to escape even if she wanted to. What do you mean? Xia Ping stopped in his tracks and turned to look at Feng Zhe. He squinted his eyes and revealed a dangerous aura. I mean exactly what I said. This woman is a native of the Blood Soul mainland and is also our enemy. Who knows if she'll leak the news to other natives? Feng Zhe said matter-of-factly, therefore, to prevent the news from leaking and any accidents, she has to stay here. She can only be returned to you after this mission is over. The others were watching the show. They knew what would happen if Lu Rulan was really left here for a night. Chapter 1152. Feng Zhe, you've crossed the line. Chang Xian stood up angrily. He had brought Xia Ping and Lu Rulan to this place, only for them to encounter such a thing. He felt that he had a duty to stop this from happening. Bang! As soon as he finished speaking, Feng Zhe struck like a gust of wind, landing a punch on Chang Xian's abdomen. Ah! Chang Xian did not expect Feng Zhe to strike, so he was caught off guard. As a result, Feng Zhe's attack landed on him. A strong force exploded in his body, causing him to scream in pain. In the next second, he fell to the ground. His body curled up like a cooked prawn. Every nerve in his body was hurting, and blood seeped out from the corner of his mouth. Bastard! Wang Chen, Wei Qi, and Jin Zhe were both shocked and enraged. Just as they were about to attack, a dozen or so people stepped forward, all of whom were on Feng Zhe's side, glaring at them like tigers watching their prey. Immediately, they did not dare to make a move. If they did, they would definitely be surrounded by this group of people. Moreover, this was the Blood Soul mainland. If they died here, even the sects would not be able to find the murderer, and no one would avenge them. After all, there were too many sect's disciples who had died in the Blood Soul mainland. What a noisy guy. You want to stand up for that lone cultivator? Why don't you look at yourself first? Feng Zhe smirked. Without the support of the Lingyun sect, you're just a piece of trash. Get out of here. If you make me angry, I'll kill you later. Chang Xian was furious. His face was red, but there was nothing he could do. Feng Zhe had a lot of people here. Even if he wanted to fight back, there was nothing he could do. He could only glare at Feng Zhe. What are you looking at? How dare you look at me? You're not happy. You don't know what's good for you. Feng Zhe's eyes flashed with coldness. His murderous intent rose. Immediately, he raised his leg and channeled his mana. Like a wild elephant stomping on the ground, he stomped towards Chang Xian. Oh no! Wang Chen and the others' expressions changed. They could feel that Feng Zhe was serious. His attack was filled with murderous intent. If they were stepped on, even if they did not die, they would be severely injured on the spot. But now, even if they wanted to go and rescue, it was too late. There was no time to stop them. Chang Xian's face was ashen. He wanted to dodge, but the punch just now had left him powerless. He couldn't move his body for a short period of time, so it was impossible for him to dodge. Just at that moment, a figure flashed past like lightning, arriving before Feng Zhe. Gently lifting his leg, the figure collided with Feng Zhe's leg. The two forces collided intensely. Dong! Immediately, a terrifying gust of wind appeared in the surroundings, condensing into a solid substance. It swept in all directions like the waves of the sea, raising gusts of wind and rolling sand. The surrounding people all felt the terror of this strong wind and seemed to be unable to stand steadily. Master Potato! Someone cried out in alarm. He had seen the true face of this figure. It was the rogue cultivator Martial Tycoon from before. He had chosen to take action at the crucial moment to block in front of Feng Zhe. It was this kick that stopped Feng Zhe's actions. Otherwise, Chang Xian would have been severely injured. Many people were shocked. They didn't expect that this kid would dare to stop them. Master Potato, what do you want to do? Why do you want to stop me? I just want to cripple him with one kick. Fengzhe's eyes revealed a trace of coldness. He stared at Xia Ping and exuded a terrible murderous aura. This is impossible. He is my friend. With me here, you can't cripple him. Xia Ping looked at Fengzhe indifferently. Interesting. Then I will cripple you first. Fengzhe shouted. Unique skill, soul-breaking kick. In an instant, Fengzhe retracted his right foot and then suddenly lifted it up. All the spiritual power in his body gathered on his right foot. Then, it exploded in an instant, producing an extremely terrifying force. Indistinctly, there was the sound of ghosts wailing and wolves howling in the surrounding void, as if countless ghosts were roaring. This was one of the king-level peerless rank unique skills of the Gue Yuan sect. With one kick, it had an unpredictable power. Even a big mountain could be kicked in half. It could be said that the power of this kick had almost fully exerted the power of Fengzhe's body. It was not comparable to the kick just now. This was the peak of the fulfillment realm. It had the power to topple mountains and overturn seas. So strong. Chang Xian and the others were shocked. Although Fengzhe's attitude was arrogant, extremely arrogant, and ruthless, it was undeniable that Fengzhe's strength was definitely stronger among the fulfillment realm cultivators. Among the many fulfillment realm cultivators, there were only a few who could defeat Fengzhe. They did not have any confidence to defeat Fengzhe. This kid is dead for sure. He actually dared to stop Brother Feng. He is simply courting death. The surrounding people were sneering as if they were watching a show. They seemed to have seen the end of this Master Potato. They estimated that with just one kick, that kid would be crippled directly. However, who asked him to dare to stand up for others without any ability? Wasn't this seeking his own death? In the face of such a terrifying kick, Xia Ping still did not move. He just stood quietly in the same place with incomparably calm eyes. Dong! This kick landed on Xia Ping's body fiercely. The power of the soul-breaking kick exploded completely. What? Fengzhe originally wanted to show a ferocious expression, thinking that this damn rogue cultivator would be kicked to death by him. However, when this kick landed on Xia Ping's body, his expression changed greatly. Because he felt that layers of chi cover appeared on this kid's body. When the tyrannical force bombarded on the surface, it was like hitting on cotton and was weakened layer by layer. In the end, his force became invisible. This feeling was extremely uncomfortable. It seemed that whatever he did was useless and could not hurt this kid at all. Oh no! Fengzhe's expression changed greatly because he felt that Xia Ping's fist moved. Although it was launched later, it arrived first. A whirlpool-like magic power gathered in his right fist. The air vibrated as if it had the power to shake mountains. Every cell in his body was trembling. The aura of death spread throughout his body. Every nerve was tingling. A desperate danger seemed to surround his body. Dong! The fist hit Fengzhe's body. The chi cover on his body was instantly torn apart like a piece of paper. The spiral fist force penetrated into his body and seeped into his internal organs. Ah! Fengzhe let out a shrill scream. His body was bent and he was hit out like a ball. With a bang, his whole body was hit into the ground. In an instant, a deep pit with a diameter of several kilometers appeared in the ground. The surrounding tents were shaken into powder by the powerful force. Those who were watching the show were scared half to death. They retreated one after another to avoid the aftermath of this punch. Trees were uprooted by the strong wind. They flew into the air and then were smashed by the strong wind. Puff! Chapter 1153. Brother Feng. Seeing that Fengzhe had been punched to the ground and it was unknown whether he was dead or alive, the two Gue Yuan sect disciples were shocked. They looked at Xia Ping with killing intent in their eyes. How dare you hurt Brother Feng? Go to hell. Why are you talking nonsense with him? Kill him immediately. The two looked at each other and instantly attacked, one from the left and one from the right, as fast as lightning. Get lost. Xia Ping didn't even look at them. He raised his hand and punched, black vortex ripple fist. Immediately, the air in the air rippled like a ripple, passing layer by layer. The power stacked layer by layer and kept increasing. Ah! The two's eyes showed fear. They found that their fist force seemed to be swallowed by this whirlpool, leaving nothing behind. Even their bodies were controlled. In the next second, the fist force penetrated and their bodies were immediately sent flying. It was as if they were struck by lightning. The terrifying ripple power directly injured their internal organs. With a bang, they smashed into the ground like soccer balls, sliding across the ground for 2 to 3 kilometers before finally being blasted into a small hill. A human-shaped hole was formed from the impact, and rubble flew in all directions. The two also foamed at the mouth and immediately fainted. They no longer had the strength to fight. Oh my God, the 3 disciples of Gue Yuan's sect were beaten. Are you kidding? Who is the disciple of a big sect? How can this Master Potato be so powerful? Yeah, isn't he a wandering cultivator? And he is only at the early stage of the fulfillment realm. He can't be Fengzhe's opponent, but now he has become like this. Is this Fengzhe a fake? He is actually not that powerful. Bullshit, don't you know whether Fengzhe is powerful or not? There is no doubt about his strength. But if this is the case, then what is Master Potato who defeated Fengzhe? Everyone was shocked and dumbfounded. They couldn't believe what they saw. The disciple of a big sect, Fengzhe, was actually beaten by this wandering cultivator who they looked down on. Even the 2 disciples of Gue Yuan's sect tried to sneak attack together, but they were beaten by one punch and had no strength to fight back. This combat power was simply beyond their imagination. Since when did loose cultivators become so powerful? Previously, they despised this kid, thinking that he was just a waste who hugged their thighs. If Master Potato, who defeated Fengzhe, was a waste, then they, who were inferior to Fengzhe, were even worse than waste. Big Brother Wu is really amazing. Wang Chen and the others were extremely excited. They already knew that Xia Ping was an unfathomable martial artist, but before they saw him, they couldn't be sure how powerful Xia Ping was. When they saw Xia Ping's true strength, they were all stunned like everyone else. They were all fulfillment realm cultivators, but Xia Ping was much stronger than them. He didn't seem to be from the same dimension as them. Lu Roland's expression was very calm because she had been with Xia Ping for more than a month. She knew very well how abnormal this man was. Even at her peak, she was no match for this man. However, she sighed inwardly. Looks like there's a huge gap between the fiend devils as well. Not every single one of them was as strong as this idiot. There's a difference in their levels as well. Pa! Xia Ping stepped forward and looked at Fengzhe condescendingly, just like that. Damn bastard, how dare you beat me up like this? Fengzhe struggled and stared at Xia Ping with hatred like a wounded beast. Just you wait. Offending the Gue Yuan sect won't end well for you. I'll kill you later. I'll kill you. He roared crazily. He was beaten by Xia Ping with one punch, and in front of so many people. This made him lose all his face, and he was greatly humiliated. Such a humiliation could only be washed away with blood. I guess you won't see that day because you have to die now. Xia Ping's tone was very indifferent and calm, but it was so calm that it made the people around feel scared. Especially Fengzhe, he felt cold all over his body, as if the temperature had dropped to -30 degrees. Even the water vapor in the air was about to be frozen. He knew that this kid wasn't joking. He really wanted to kill him. At this time, he was finally afraid. His whole body was trembling, and he shouted, Senior brother Fan, quick, come and save me. Someone wants to kill me. He wants to kill your junior brother. He shouted for help, and his voice traveled for miles. Want to ask for help? No one can save you. Xia Ping said lightly. Feng Zhe shouted, Master Potato, are you crazy? What is your identity and what is my identity? If you dare to kill me, you will definitely become the enemy of the Gue Yuan sect. At that time, even if you leave the Blood Soul continent, there will be no place for you in the whole universe. There will be no place for you. Think about the consequences carefully. He threatened Xia Ping, using both carrot and stick, hoping to scare Xia Ping with the identity of the Gue Yuan sect. Become the enemy of the Gue Yuan sect? You think too highly of yourself. Believe it or not, even if I kill you, the Gue Yuan sect will not deal with me. You can only die in vain, and no one will shed a tear for you. Xia Ping sneered. Feng Zhe's whole body was cold. He knew that Master Potato's words were not empty words. Although he was a disciple of the Gue Yuan sect, the problem was that the Gue Yuan sect had too many disciples. There were billions of them. So what if one died? If he was a disciple of a sage, his identity would be different. But unfortunately, he was just an ordinary disciple. He could not make the Gue Yuan sect make a big fuss over his death. Fellow Taoist, please have mercy. At this time, a voice came from afar. Immediately, a white-robed man with a long sword on his back flew in the air. He exuded an abyss-like aura. This person had the cultivation of the divine realm. He had the power to suppress everything. Senior brother Fan Ming, hurry, hurry, hurry. Come here and kill this audacious bastard. Kill him immediately. Seeing that this person appeared and had a huge backing, Feng Zhe was overjoyed. He immediately became arrogant and roared, just now, he actually dared to threaten me. He is arrogant. He thinks that there is no one in the Gue Yuan sect. If I don't kill him, my Gue Yuan sect will lose face. He was as calm as Mount Tai. With the support of a divine realm cultivator, he was not afraid of anything. Die. Xia Ping didn't even look. He pointed his finger and aimed at Feng Zhe's forehead. Damn, kid, what are you trying to do? Quickly stop. You dare to kill my Gue Yuan sect's disciple. The white-robed man saw Xia Ping's action and his expression changed. But he was too far away from Xia Ping. Even if he had the cultivation of the divine realm, he couldn't stop it in time. You! Feng Zhe was dumbfounded. He didn't expect that his senior brother of the Gue Yuan sect would appear. There was a divine realm cultivator here to suppress everyone. But this kid still dared to make a move. With a thud, the energy instantly pierced through his forehead. Puchi! In the next second, blood splattered everywhere. A bloody hole appeared on his forehead. Blood dripped down. His eyes were wide open, but the depths of his pupils quickly lost its spirit. Chapter 1154. This. It can't be, Feng Zhe is dead. Killed by Master Potato with a finger. Too arrogant, simply too arrogant, he even dared to kill a Gue Yuan sect disciple, is he crazy? And it was in front of a divine realm cultivator, he is seeking his own death. Crazy, this guy is simply crazy, he doesn't want to live anymore. Everyone was stunned, no matter how rich their imagination was, they completely did not expect such a ridiculous thing to happen, a dignified Gue Yuan sect disciple died on the spot. Moreover, it was in front of a divine realm cultivator, in front of many Gue Yuan sect disciples, his head was pierced by a finger, extinguishing Feng Zhe's life. Oh my god! Chang Xian and the others were also completely stunned, they all felt that Xia Ping was simply a mess, simply lawless, unscrupulous, he even dared to kill a Gue Yuan sect disciple, it was too exaggerated. Even if there was such a chance, they would not dare to do so, after all, killing a Gue Yuan sect disciple in front of such a matter was simply not a trivial matter, it would definitely cause a huge uproar. Most importantly, there was a divine tier cultivator backing Feng Zhe up. Who would dare kill a divine tier cultivator right in front of him? Wasn't that a slap to the divine tier cultivator's face? If a divine realm cultivator was angry, this kid would definitely die without a burial place. How could a mere fulfillment realm cultivator be a match for a divine realm cultivator? He would be killed in an instant. Whoosh! At this moment, the white-robed man Fan Ming also rushed over from afar. He floated down from the sky, seeing that Feng Zhe was already killed. His face was extremely ugly, like charcoal. Master Potato. Fan Ming stared at Xia Ping with a murderous look. Didn't I tell you to stop? You actually dared to directly kill junior brother Feng Zhe in front of me, how dare you? His body was filled with terrifying murderous intent. He felt that he had lost all his face. He clearly told this kid not to hurt his junior brother, but his words were ignored. This made him feel extremely embarrassed. Now he was filled with anger. You want me to stop? I have to stop. Who do you think you are? If I want to kill someone, no one can save him. Xia Ping sneered, standing with his hands behind his back. He didn't take Fan Ming seriously at all. Even if this kid was a transcendent realm cultivator with formidable strength, he didn't put Fan Ming in his eyes at all. If they wanted to make a move on him, then come and fight to the death. Who's afraid of who? What? Fan Ming was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. This itinerant cultivator was even more arrogant than him, a disciple of the Gue Yuan sect. He was extremely condescending. Looking at the attitudes of both sides, it was impossible to tell who was the disciple of the big sect and who was the itinerant cultivator. Good, very good. If that's the case, then you can pay with your life for junior brother Feng Zhe. Fan Ming was so angry that he started laughing. It's over. The expressions of Chang Xian and the others changed drastically. They had completely angered a divine tier cultivator. This was simply an imminent disaster. This was even more terrifying than offending Feng Zhe. If they angered a divine tier cultivator, they would not be able to escape even if they wanted to. They would definitely die. Alright, junior brother Fan Ming, stop. All of a sudden, a figure appeared in front of Fan Ming, preventing him from making a move. Senior brother Chen Wei. Everyone was overjoyed. When they saw the man in grey robes appear, they were relieved. This man was the leader who had gathered them, Chen Wei. Although he was also a disciple of the Gue Yuan sect, there was no doubt that he had a high prestige. Many people trusted him and he was fair in doing things. He did not have an arrogant attitude and treated people like a spring breeze. He was different from the others. Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. He was already prepared to make a move, but now it seemed that there was something wrong. He did not make a move and stood quietly at the side, watching the situation unfold. Senior brother Chen, he killed junior brother Feng Zhe and insulted the Gue Yuan sect. Are you trying to stop me? Fan Ming was very angry. Chen Wei stood with his hands behind his back. Junior brother Fan Ming, I've seen what happened just now. This is junior brother Feng Zhe's fault. What he did was too much and he deserved it. Now, he deserves to be killed. He can't blame anyone else. It can only be said that this was his fate and bad luck. If you still want to make a move and break the unity here, then I'll fight you right here. He clearly wanted to protect Xia Ping and take full responsibility for this matter. He actually let this kid go. This kid killed a disciple of the Gue Yuan sect. How can he let him go and stand up for him? This is too exaggerated. As expected of senior brother Chen, nicknamed Saint Mother Chen. He is too broad-minded and righteous. But a good person who is too rotten won't live long in the universe. Who cares, it's good to have such a good person. At least we don't need to worry about working with him. That's right, we can only be at ease working with such a person. Everyone was discussing and were very surprised. They felt that this Master Potato should not be related to Chen Wei. Why would he stop Fan Ming? They all felt that it was incredible. However, Chang Xian and the others were very grateful. With such a person appearing, it was like saving their lives. Okay, Senior Brother Chen, since you said so, then I will let him go for now. I hope that he will not fall into my hands in the future. Fan Ming's face was gloomy. He coldly snorted and looked deeply at Xia Ping, then turned around and left. He also knew that with Chen Wei here, he couldn't do anything to Xia Ping. I'm sorry, Brother Potato. My Gui Yuan sect actually produced such a scum and almost hurt you. This is my Gui Yuan sect's fault. Please let me apologize on behalf of the Gui Yuan sect. Chen Wei bowed towards Xia Ping. Everyone was shocked. They had never seen such a thing. A transcendent realm cultivator actually bowed to a fulfillment realm cultivator. This was too ridiculous. However, Xia Ping looked like he could bear it. He waved his hand and said, "It's okay. Just be careful in the future. Such scum will die in my hands." What? The surrounding people had a strange expression. They felt that this kid was too arrogant. Chen Wei stood up for him and wanted to reconcile with him, but he said such words. He mocked the Gui Yuan sect for producing scum. It was like slapping Chen Wei's face. However, Chen Wei didn't seem to understand the meaning of Xia Ping's words. He still smiled and said, "It's good if Brother Potato is not angry. I hope you won't have a bad impression of our Gui Yuan sect because of this and leave this place. I feel that it is our honor to have Brother Potato join this operation." He wanted to persuade Xia Ping to stay and not leave this operation because of this. Chapter 1155. I believe Brother Wu isn't the only one who's curious about this. Everyone is curious too. Chen Wei smiled and looked at the people around him. I was going to tell you guys later, but since you guys asked, I'll tell you guys now. He took out a transparent glass bottle that seemed to contain red mist. He continued, "This bottle contains a poisonous mist called red mist. I believe everyone knows how powerful this poisonous mist is. Once a living being breathes in a tiny bit of red mist, they'll be unconscious for 3 days and 3 nights. They won't wake up no matter what. If I use this poisonous mist tomorrow, I'll be able to knock out most of the natives. By then, it'll be a piece of cake for us to kill those natives." He revealed his plan. What? Everyone was overjoyed. They had also heard of a poisonous fog like the red mist before. Legend had it that it came from a highly toxic planet and was extremely valuable. Even a golden elixir realm cultivator would not be able to withstand a whiff of it. However, it was just too rare and priceless. Regular martial artists would not be able to find it even if they wanted to. It was not a high-level item that could be bought with money. Lu Rolan was secretly shocked. These extraterrestrial devils were terrifying indeed. They actually had such a terrifying item. She felt that the power of extraterrestrial devils was unfathomable. If you have red mist, wouldn't you be able to kill all the natives there? Why do you need our help? Xia Ping raised his brows. Of course, there's a reason, Chen Wei said. Although I have red mist with me, the problem is that there's too little of it. It can't cover the entire mine. Even if I use it, I'm sure some of the natives will survive. Even if there's only a few of them left, it'll be difficult for us to kill them all with this force alone. We might even suffer heavy casualties when they fight back before they die. To prevent that from happening, we'd like to invite all of you here to help us plan something big. Of course, I've sacrificed a lot too, so I must take the biggest share of the loot. He explained his reasons in detail. I see. I didn't expect Brother Chen to have a reason like that. If we have the red mist, we'll definitely win. There's no room for error. As for Big Brother Chen taking the lead, that's only natural. Without Big Brother Chen's red mist, how could we have gotten rid of those natives unscathed and obtained the soul stones? Although the plan hasn't started yet, I can already see the signs of success. Thank you, Big Brother Chen, for giving us a chance to obtain the soul stone. We can't thank you enough. Everyone was moved to tears and full of confidence. They felt that their plan had basically succeeded. The enemy was in the light while they were in the dark, and they even had a great killing weapon. How could it not succeed? Chang Xian and the others were incomparably excited. Originally, the success rate of their mission was very low and extremely difficult. However, with Chen Wei's help, it was as easy as flipping a hand. Brother Wu, do you have any other questions? Chen Wei looked at Xia Ping. The others also looked at Xia Ping with unfriendly expressions. If Xia Ping continued to nitpick, then he would simply be looking for trouble. In that case, he couldn't blame them for being impolite. Xia Ping shook his head. No. He did not continue to speak. Although he was somewhat puzzled, he did not say anything. All right, it's getting late now. It's almost time for dinner. When I went out just now, I happened to hunt quite a number of fierce beasts. I think everyone should be able to eat their fill. Chen Wei waved his hand and immediately took out the corpses of 5 fierce beasts from his spatial ring. An hour later, they moved their campsite to another place and set up their tents. Everyone entered the same tent and a large amount of cooked fierce beast meat was carried out. Many people ate the delicious food excitedly. Brother Wu, thank you for helping me just now. If not for you, I would have died just now. Chang Xian looked at Xia Ping gratefully. You're welcome. It was because of me that you encountered such a situation just now. Xia Ping waved his hand. Chang Xian sighed. Fortunately, senior brother Chen appeared. Otherwise, the consequences would have been unimaginable. That's right. Without Chen Wei, who knows how bad the situation would have become. Feng Zhe and Fan Ming are both despicable people. I didn't expect Chen Wei to be so broad-minded. We are all disciples of the Gue Yuan sect, but why is there such a big difference between us? As the saying goes, the dragon gives birth to 9 sons. Each of them is different. In short, we are lucky to have met senior brother Chen Wei. Don't talk about it. Let's hurry up and eat. This kind of fierce beast meat is very rare. It contains pure blood energy. It is very beneficial for our cultivation. Wang Chen and the others slurped down on the fierce beast meat. They planned to eat until they were full so that they would have enough physical strength to deal with the battle tomorrow. Huh? Xia Ping also planned to eat. But suddenly, his bloodline throbbed. He seemed to have sensed that there was something wrong with the fierce beast meat. He immediately hesitated. Xia Ping, be careful. The aura here is a bit strange. Corinne's voice suddenly came out. His tone was very solemn. What do you mean? Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. Corinne said. Just now, I used the exploration system to detect the composition of the surrounding air. I discovered that the air of this place is filled with the fragrance of a dream dew flower. There is indeed a trace of a faintly discernible fragrance. So, there is nothing wrong with it. Xia Ping looked around from the corner of his eyes. He discovered that there were several pots of purple flowers placed in the corners of the tent. They looked very beautiful. The people of Gue Yuan sect had moved them here to decorate the tent. If it is only the dream dew flower, there is indeed nothing wrong with it because this flower does not have any benefits for the human body. The problem is that this flower has a special characteristic. If it is fused with the swift grass, it can fuse into a colorless and odorless poisonous gas. Corinne solemnly said. This poisonous gas is very frightening. If a martial artist smells it, they will be in a period of weakness for a day. Their magic power will completely disappear, and they will be even more fragile than an ordinary person. This is a relatively taboo poison in the universe. What? Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. You mean, the people of Gue Yuan sect are poisoning us? There is no doubt. Corinne said with certainty. This food definitely contains the swift grass. It can also be used as a seasoning and as a food concoction. This is the method of an assassin. In the universe, there was an outstanding and famous assassin organization. They used this method to kill who knows how many experts. Chapter 1156. But the people around us don't seem to have any reaction. Xia Ping looked around. The people around him were all eating happily, and there seemed to be no signs of poisoning. This poison doesn't take effect immediately. The incubation period is half a day. It will slowly spread to the whole body, and there will be no abnormalities during this period. It will be too late when it fully takes effect. Corinne said. Half a day. Xia Ping's eyes revealed a trace of coldness. In other words, the Gue Yuan sect has long planned this. They don't want to share the soul stones in the mine with us. After using us to kill the group of Blood Soul Continent natives, they want to use this method to kill us all. Are they trying to do evil? They have a big appetite. He understood the plan of the Gue Yuan sect and the others. They were indeed ruthless. Of course they have a big appetite. Corinne sneered. Soul stones are also very precious ores in the universe. They can enhance soul energy. Who knows how many warriors want to get them? They can be sold at a sky-high price in the universe. It can be said that if we get this soul stone mine, it is equivalent to getting rich overnight. Think about it carefully. If it were you, would you be so stupid as to hand over this mine to someone else? This is impossible. How can sharing with others be better than monopolizing it? I think you should expose the conspiracy of the Gue Yuan sect now. We must not let them succeed. It gave its suggestion to Xia Ping. No hurry. Xia Ping smiled. They want to do evil. Why don't we do the opposite? I am actually very interested in monopolizing it. What? What do you want to do? Corinne couldn't help but shiver. It didn't know why it felt that this guy was worse and more sinister than the group of people from the Gue Yuan sect. The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. Let's see who will have the last laugh. Xia Ping clenched his fists. The Gue Yuan sect wanted to use them, but he also wanted to use the Gue Yuan sect to help get rid of the group of Blood Soul Continent natives. After all, if he wanted to get the soul stones in the soul stone mine, he first had to deal with the group of natives. There were divine power realm cultivators among them. Of course, a few divine ability realm cultivators weren't much. What they were afraid of was that they would call their friends. If they completely alarmed Soul Palace, they would probably encounter big trouble. At that time, they would definitely be surrounded. If the people from the Gue Yuan sect were to help, they would be able to get rid of this group of people in the blink of an eye. They would not give the natives a chance to call for help. As for the life and death of the disciples of the Five Elements sect and the Lingyun sect, it had nothing to do with him. Just now, when he was in trouble, this group of people wanted to hit him when he was down. So, he had no reason to remind them. Of course, Chang Xian and the others were not bad. With his current strength, it would not be difficult for him to save their lives. For now, he would pretend not to know anything to avoid alerting the enemy. Brother Wu. Suddenly, Chen Wei appeared in front of Xia Ping. His face was as warm as a spring breeze. Look at your troubled expression. Are you dissatisfied with the food I prepared? Why aren't you eating? Damn it, this guy actually came. What a despicable and insidious guy. He must be here to monitor the people who didn't eat the food here to prevent any fish from escaping the net. He wants to ensure that nothing goes wrong. Corinne immediately shouted. Xia Ping, you must not eat the food here. Otherwise, you will definitely be poisoned. At that time, it will be very difficult to get rid of the poison. You can only fall out with this guy in this place. Corinne promptly reminded. Xia Ping slightly smiled. No, how can I not be satisfied with this kind of food? I was just thinking about something, that's all. After saying that, he picked up a piece of meat and ate it. It's over. Corinne was burning with anxiety. He was very anxious. He had clearly told this guy that it was absolutely impossible. Why did he still foolishly step into this fatal trap? Isn't he stupid? So that's how it is. Then, I won't disturb you. Brother Wu, you can eat slowly. Seeing Xia Ping eat, Chen Wei's smile became even more brilliant. Obviously, he was very satisfied. Then, he went to greet everyone at the table and invited everyone to eat. It seemed that after seeing everyone eat the vicious beast meat, he finally felt relieved and left. Of course, this enthusiastic attitude of his seemed to others to be hospitable and like to make friends. It was not because he had ulterior motives. Everyone was very happy. Xia Ping, are you stupid? Didn't I just tell you that this kind of vicious beast meat can't be eaten? Once you eat it, it will be impossible to detoxify the poison. Corinne said. You should take advantage of the fact that the poison has not flared up and quickly run away. It's all right. This kind of poison is nothing to me. I have a physique that is immune to poison. Xia Ping indifferently said. After swallowing the vicious beast meat into his stomach, his voice had just fallen when a red flame rose up in his stomach. The raging flame burned and everything turned into a mass of energy, fusing into his limbs and bones. Those unwanted impurities passed through his countless pores and turned into gas, which was released without a trace. Any poison that wanted to enter Xia Ping's body would be burned cleanly and couldn't harm him at all. Especially after awakening the infernal golden crow's stomach, his resistance to poison has become even stronger. However, this can only resist most of the poisons. It still can't resist some of the more terrifying special poisons. Chapter 1157. Junior Brother Fan, don't worry. Don't you know what kind of person I am? How can I let someone who offends my Gue Yuan sect live? Aren't you looking down on me? Chen Wei smiled at Fan Ming. His eyes were like a venomous snake, sending chills down one's spine. What happened? Chen Wei, did you do something to that kid? Fan Ming was shocked. He could feel the chill in Chen Wei's eyes that made his hair stand on end. He didn't know how many times he had seen Chen Wei show such eyes, but each time it meant a river of blood. Who knew how many people would die under his tricks? Chen Wei narrowed his eyes. I didn't do anything, but he's not far from death. Could it be that the kid was poisoned? Fan Ming immediately understood Chen Wei's words. He was a part of this plan and knew what Chen Wei was going to do next. That's right. Chen Wei nodded. I saw him eat the food I gave him with my own eyes. He's now poisoned. I guess he'll be a corpse by this time tomorrow. Of course, it's not just Master Potato. Even the people around him will die this time. Chen Wei's tone was very calm. It was as if he wasn't killing people, but stepping on a few ants. That's great. Fan Ming was overjoyed. A proud smile appeared on his face. Tomorrow, I'll be able to see this kid begging for mercy on the ground. Let's see if he can still be arrogant then. But I'm still not happy. He's just a wandering cultivator. He's trash. Why bother to deal with him? Can't you just kill him with a punch? He still felt a little unhappy. Stupid. Chen Wei snorted. You're impulsive and brainless. That's why you've suffered so many losses. As a wandering cultivator, you still dare to come to Blood Soul Mainland alone. Do you think it's possible that you don't have any skills? Even when facing us, Transcendent Realm cultivators, this kid is not afraid at all. I'm sure that he definitely has a way to fight against us. Chen Wei's tone was very strict. He's just a fulfillment realm cultivator. Even if he's strong, what can he do? Besides, if this kid has something, don't we? Fan Ming was still a little unconvinced. Maybe, maybe not. This is uncertainty. A cold glint flashed in Chen Wei's eyes. I don't care what kind of confidence this kid has. In any case, I only want one thing for this plan. Nothing will go wrong. I, Chen Wei, will never do something I'm not confident in, nor will I rely on luck. If I can kill the enemy, I won't do something stupid that might cause unnecessary trouble. Therefore, I will temporarily tolerate him. When he is completely poisoned and unable to resist, he will be an ant in my palm. Whether he lives or dies will be up to me. Fan Ming, I have to warn you. Until the end of tomorrow, you are not to make any moves. Otherwise, even if you are a disciple of the Gue Yuan sect, I will send you to hell. He warned Fan Ming fiercely, killing intent radiating in all directions. He did not conceal it at all. Yes. Fan Ming shivered, feeling a bone-piercing chill. Even though he and Chen Wei were fellow disciples of the same sect, he still feared Chen Wei from the bottom of his heart. If Chen Wei really wanted to kill him, it would be a piece of cake. Fan Ming immediately lowered his head, not daring to go against Chen Wei. Very well, let's wait for tomorrow then. Chen Wei nodded, satisfied. The night passed uneventfully. The next day, Xia Ping and the rest woke up and set off for the Soul Stone Mine. Not long after, they finally arrived at the outskirts of the Soul Stone Mine. From afar, they immediately noticed that there were many soldiers stationed around the Soul Stone Mine. They were densely packed and were distributed in every corner of the mine. Vaguely, they could sense the aura of divine realm cultivators coming from the depths of the mine. They were lurking in the dark, as though there was a terrifying beast hibernating in the dark, waiting for the enemy to come knocking before giving them a fatal blow. That's right. This is the Soul Stone Mine. I can clearly sense the dense aura of the soul stones. The security is indeed tight. If it were just us, I'm afraid we wouldn't be able to break into the mine. There are divine realm cultivators here too. If we force our way in, we will definitely suffer heavy casualties. That's right. After all, these native divine realm cultivators are too terrifying. They are proficient in the secret arts of the mind. Once they use them, we might be killed without a trace. Everyone discussed among themselves, lowering their voices and breathing. Their faces were filled with excitement because the Soul Stone Mine was right in front of them. The mission was imminent. Who wouldn't be excited? Xia Ping was expressionless. He stayed in the crowd and didn't say anything, keeping a low profile. Everyone. At this moment, Chen Wei stood up and said, "The plan is about to begin. I will go and release the red mist now. Once I knock out all the natives, you guys can attack and kill all the poison natives." Senior brother Chen, isn't this too risky? A Guiyuan sect disciple immediately jumped out and said, "You were the one who suggested this plan, but you are also the one who will do the most dangerous thing. If the natives discover your tracks, I'm afraid you will be surrounded and attacked by many of them. When that happens, you will definitely suffer great injuries. You might even die." Xia Ping could tell that this Guiyuan sect disciple was just a supporting actor. He was trying his best to make Chen Wei look tall and mighty. "Sai, you can't say that. If I don't go to hell, who will?" Chen Wei put on a righteous expression. "I was the one who suggested this plan, so I should be the one to face the greatest danger. Otherwise, I'm not fit to be the leader of this operation. In any case, I won't say anything unnecessary. Let's begin the plan. You guys coming here as soon as possible is already the greatest help to me, Chen Wei." Hearing these words, everyone was moved to tears. This Chen Wei was indeed a righteous person. Normally, when a leader was in danger, his subordinates would go first and the leader would bring up the rear. However, Chen Wei went first and let his subordinates bring up the rear. If this wasn't righteousness, then what was? Now, they no longer had any doubts. All they felt was gratitude towards Chen Wei. He's a talent. Xia Ping was also secretly impressed. If they hadn't met him, this group of people probably wouldn't even know how they died, being played around in circles by others. Whoosh! As soon as he finished speaking, Chen Wei immediately made his move. He silently disappeared from where he was and entered the Soul Stone mine. Boom! Not long after, Xia Ping and the others heard a shocking explosion coming from the depths of the Soul Stone mine. Following that, a large amount of red mist spread out from the depths of the Soul Stone mine. In just a few breaths' time, the red mist had already filled the entire area. After that, they heard the sounds of fighting, the sound of bodies falling to the ground, the sound of swords clashing, and the wails of dying people. Chapter 1158. Swoosh swoosh swoosh. Chang Xian and the rest moved immediately. All of them were as agile as monkeys. Without a sound, they instantly entered the Soul Stone mine, wanting to finish off the unconscious aborigines on the ground. At this moment, the red mist dissipated quickly, revealing its original appearance. That's strange. Where are those aborigines? Where did they go? However, when Chang Xian and the rest charged in, they discovered a strange phenomenon. There were no unconscious figures on the ground. It was as if it was a ghost town. They instinctively felt that something was wrong. The scene in front of them was beyond their expectations. Yeah, they shouldn't be able to move after being hit by the red mist. Where are those aborigines? Could they have been killed by senior brother Chen Wei? No, even if they were killed, their corpses should have been left behind. It's indeed strange. We clearly saw many aborigines guards just now, but now they've all disappeared. Everyone discussed and looked around cautiously. They felt that the situation was different from what they had imagined. All of them were on high alert. At this moment, there was an ear-piercing sound in the surroundings, as well as orderly footsteps. In the next second, figures appeared in the surroundings, instantly surrounding Chang Xian and the rest. The people surrounding them were the aborigines they had seen just now. How is this possible? Why are these aborigines unharmed? Chang Xian and the rest were shocked. They simply could not believe their eyes. This was truly unbelievable. Under the red mist, even golden elixir realm cultivators would be unconscious. With the strength of these aborigines, they would not be able to escape the effects of the poisonous mist no matter what. The problem was, what was going on? Not only were these aborigines not dead, but they had also taken the opportunity to surround them completely. They had fallen into an ambush from all sides. Foolish demons. You've been tricked. At this moment, a bald, middle-aged man who was 1.9 meters tall walked out. He looked at Chang Xian and the rest with a proud expression. His eyes were filled with ferocity. What? Lu Rulan was shocked because she immediately recognized the bald, middle-aged man's true identity. Even if he turned into ashes, she would still recognize him. He was Huining City's sole palace master, Zhua Hao. She didn't expect to meet Zhua Hao again so soon, and under such circumstances. Brother Chen, I didn't think that you would really be a man of your word. You really brought these outer realm fiends over to their deaths. I am very satisfied with this deal. The bald, middle-aged man snickered. Brother Zhua Hao, it's good that you're satisfied. Integrity is a basic character of a businessman. Isn't our cooperation built on integrity? At this moment, a young man walked out and smiled. Chen Wei, what's going on? Why aren't they dead yet? Chang Xian and the others saw that Zhua Hao, who had just entered the Soul Stone vein, was standing beside these aborigines. It seemed like the relationship between the two sides was very good, and there was no sense of enmity between the aborigines and the universe's martial artists. They simply couldn't believe their eyes. They felt that this was too absurd. Since when did the natives of the Blood Soul continent become so friendly to the warriors of the universe? It was simply unimaginable. Do you even need to ask? Xia Ping said faintly, Chen Wei obviously betrayed us and colluded with these aborigines. Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. He felt that he had underestimated Chen Wei. From the beginning, Chen Wei's target was probably them, and he had already colluded with these aborigines. Betrayed us? Chen Wei, have you lost your mind? Do you know who you are? You actually collaborated with the aborigines? If this matter is exposed, there will be no place for you in the universe. Why did you do this? What benefits did those aborigines give you? Chang Xian and the others shouted angrily. They weren't fools. Based on the situation in front of them, it was obvious that Chen Wei had betrayed them and colluded with these aborigines. Benefits? Do you think that I would do such a thing without enough benefits? Chen Wei smiled faintly. There's no harm in telling you this. The Gue Yuan sect has already discussed with our friends from the soul race. If we use your lives in exchange, 2/3 of the soul stones in this soul stone vein will belong to us. Tell me, how can I not agree to such benefits? He had already discussed the conditions with Zhuo Hao and the others. Lu Rolan immediately understood why Zhuo Hao wanted to do this. To the Soul Palace, the lives of the extraterrestrial demons were more important than the soul stones. If anyone could kill an extraterrestrial demon, they would receive great rewards and even an extremely high status. It was even possible for them to be promoted to the Soul Palace's elder. Compared to the Soul Palace's status and rewards, the soul stones in a small soul stone vein were nothing. Of course, they were willing to cooperate with Chen Wei and the others. Zhuo Hao and the others wanted the lives of Chang Xian and the other extraterrestrial demons, while Chen Wei and the others needed the soul stones. Everyone agreed on this matter and took what they needed. Chen Wei, have you gone mad? These aboriginals are all despicable bastards. Once they kill us, they will turn around and kill you all as well. At that time, all of your efforts will be in vain. You won't have a good ending either. Chang Xian and the others shouted furiously as they glared at Chen Wei. Don't worry about that. Chen Wei was calm and composed. I've already signed a mental contract with them. If anyone dares to violate the contract, their soul will be shattered on the spot and they will die without a complete corpse. With a mental contract, no one dares to violate it. He had already made preparations. Otherwise, he wouldn't have dared to cooperate with the soul race. The soul race naturally did the same. Mental contract. Lu Roland's expression was solemn. Even in the Blood Soul mainland, a mental contract was an extremely precious rune scroll. It was a mysterious rune passed down from ancient times. Once the content of the contract was signed, both parties' souls would be bound together. If anyone violated the contract, their soul would immediately be destroyed. No one could save them. In order to annihilate these extraterrestrial demons, Zhuo Hao had clearly put in a lot of effort. Damn it, Chen Wei has already sold his soul to the devil. He's no longer on our side. Don't think that you're so great just because you're working together with the aborigines. We still have over 100 people. You won't have a good ending. Go, kill Chen Wei and the aborigines. Chang Xian and the others were extremely angry. Although they had been ambushed by the soul race, they still had their strength. If they fought to the death, it was still unknown who would win. All of them wanted to rush forward and kill Chen Wei. You still want to kill me? It's too late. Looking at the time, the drug should be taking effect by now. Chapter 1159. The effect of the poison took effect. Before Chang Xian and the others could figure out what was going on, they suddenly felt a wave of weakness in their bodies. The magic power in the depths of their purple palace was rapidly disappearing. It was as if their strength had been sucked dry on the spot. Oh no, the magic power in my body is disappearing. Oh my god, what is happening? I can feel my strength disappearing bit by bit. Damn you, Qin Wei, what did you do to us? Chang Xian and the others were horrified. They felt an unprecedented weakness in their bodies. One by one, they fell to the ground. With a few clangs, the weapons in their hands fell to the ground. They had difficulty breathing and were drenched in sweat. They were like a pile of mud, unable to exert any strength at all. Originally, they had the strength of Fulfillment Realm or even Transcendent Realm. They could shatter mountains with a wave of their hands. If they were in ancient China, they would be like gods on earth. But now, they felt their strength disappearing rapidly. It was as if they had turned into mortals. They were even weaker than when they were still infants. Dozens or even hundreds of years of hard work had been destroyed. Every one of them was terrified and filled with despair. Don't worry. You guys were just poisoned, causing your cultivation to disappear temporarily. This isn't permanent. It will only last for 24 hours. After that, you will slowly recover. Qin Wei said with a smile. 24 hours? Chang Xian and the others felt even more despair. Even if they were only weakened for a few minutes, they would still be dead. They would be hacked to death by Qin Wei and the natives. Not to mention, they would be weakened for 24 hours. This was simply asking for their lives. They were filled with despair. They knew that they had fallen into Qin Wei's trap. There was no chance for them to survive. Brother Qin, this poison is really powerful. It can actually weaken these powerful extraterritorial devils to this extent. They can't fight back at all and are at our mercy. Zhua Hao stared at Qin Wei with a cold glint in his eyes. If this poison is used on us, the soul race, will it have the same effect? He was very wary of Qin Wei's method. After all, if Qin Wei were to use this method on them, they would most likely end up in the same predicament as well. Don't worry, this kind of poison is still very rare. I also paid a huge price to find it, so I won't use it easily. Moreover, we have signed a spiritual contract that we will never harm each other, so why would I use this kind of method to deal with you? After all, we're friends, aren't we? Qin Wei said sincerely. Friend my ass. Zhua Hao sneered in his heart. He would not believe a single word that Qin Wei said. If Qin Wei could kill his own people, how could he believe that Qin Wei would not do the same to them? However, with the spiritual contract in hand, he believed that no matter how vicious this fellow was, he would not dare to lay a hand on him. Qin Wei didn't say much. He instructed Fan Ming and the other Gue Yuan sect disciples, alright, let's cut the crap. Kill them all. Don't leave a single one alive. He was vicious and merciless. He wanted to kill Chang Xian and the others immediately, to cut the weeds and eliminate the roots. He did not even have a second to waste. Damn Qin Wei. You will die a horrible death. I trusted you so much in vain. I didn't expect you to be such a despicable person. If you kill me, I won't let you off even if I become a ghost. The group of people shouted in grief and indignation. They felt that they were crazy to trust Qin Wei and the others. They regretted their gullibility. Unfortunately, there was no medicine for regret in this world. Regretting? It's too late. The most important thing to remember when you're out in the world is not to trust strangers so easily. Didn't your fathers teach you this when you were young? Qin Wei said with a smile. A bunch of idiots. I don't know why you're so stupid. That's right. If we could easily kill these natives and obtain the soul stone, why would we ask you to share it with us? Go to hell and regret believing in us so foolishly. Idiots will not be able to survive in the universe. Now, we will teach you these principles. A group of Guiyuan sect disciples smiled ferociously. With weapons in their hands, they attacked. They were like bandits killing helpless villagers. No, no, no. Spare me. Spare me. As long as you spare my life, we are willing to be your slave. You can't kill me. You can't kill me. My father is the manager of 5 Elements sect. I can give you money. I can give you money. I can give you as much money as you want. Spare my life. Everyone was wailing and begging for mercy. However, the people of the Gue Yuan sect did not show mercy and killed them mercilessly. Compared to these benefits, if this matter was leaked out, it would be a disaster. It was impossible for them to let these disciples leave alive. Only dead people could keep secrets. Bang bang bang. These Gue Yuan sect disciples were extremely ruthless. Heads flew in the air and blood flowed. Dozens of people were killed on the spot and turned into corpses on the ground. It's over. It's over. It's completely over this time. Chang Xian and the other Ling Yun sect disciples were desperate. They wanted to take the opportunity to obtain the soul stone to complete the mission, but they fell into this situation. They were extremely weak now. Even if they wanted to escape, they did not have any strength. Are we going to die this time? Lu Rolan also fell on the ground weakly. Because she had eaten a lot of food yesterday, she was poisoned. She did not expect that after running for so long, she still could not escape from Huining City's Soul Palace Master Zhuahao's evil claws. Master Wu Taidu. Suddenly, there was a loud shout. Fan Ming did not care about anyone and walked in front of Xia Ping. He looked at him with a ferocious face and a murderous aura. He simply hated this person who dared to talk back to him yesterday and almost made him lose face. He wished for nothing more than to kill him, skin him, and pull out his tendons. It was already considered that he had a good temper to be able to endure for a night. Now that the situation was set, no one would stop him. So how could he not come for revenge? You were arrogant yesterday. Have you ever thought of this ending today? Arrogant, continue to be arrogant. You even dared to kill my Gue Yuan sect disciples in front of me. You're so arrogant. You must be tired of living. Fan Ming sneered and emitted a powerful aura. It was like a mountain pressing down, as if he wanted to press Xia Ping to the ground and make him kneel in front of him, kowtow and admit his mistake. The surrounding people were shocked. The aura of a transcendent realm cultivator was terrifying. Normal cultivators could not even get close to him. It was as if the ground had been pressed down by a few centimeters. A group of Gue Yuan sect disciples looked at Xia Ping as if they were looking at a dead man. After offending Fan Ming, it was impossible for him to live. Chapter 1160. So what if I'm arrogant? Do you dare to bite me? Hearing this, Xia Ping stood with his hands behind his back and looked at Fan Ming calmly. There was no hint of fear in his eyes. Fuck, this kid is too arrogant. He's obviously poisoned and has no strength left. He's a prisoner. If he begs for mercy, he might be spared. How dare he provoke us? Does he think his life is too long? This kid is probably completely crazy. He knows that he's going to die, so he's venting before he dies. Venting? He angered Senior Fan Ming. Even if he wants to die, it won't be easy. Many of the Gue Yuan sect disciples looked at Xia Ping with pity in their eyes. They knew how cruel Fan Ming was. If he offended Fan Ming, death might be a better outcome. Brother Wu. Chang Xian and the others were extremely anxious. They could clearly feel Fan Ming's murderous intent. However, they couldn't even protect themselves now. Even if they wanted to help, there was nothing they could do. Good, very good. Fan Ming was so angry that he laughed. I like tough bones like you the most. It's especially fun to torture you like this. To be honest, it'll be hard for you to die later. As soon as he finished speaking, he immediately attacked. A giant hand made of mana reached out like the palm of a giant. It wanted to grab Xia Ping and crush him into a cripple. Fan Ming used all his strength, even when he was facing a poisoned person. One could imagine how angry Fan Ming was now. He even wanted to kill Xia Ping dozens of times. Die! A cold light flashed in Xia Ping's eyes. He immediately activated the infinite blades on his body. Immediately, a sharp long sword appeared in his right hand. Shoot him, infinite blades. As soon as he finished speaking, the long sword instantly elongated. Its speed was extremely fast. Like a poisonous snake, it shot towards Fan Ming's body, emitting a cold light in midair. What? Fan Ming was shocked. He didn't expect this kid to be able to resist at this time. Logically speaking, this kid without mana should be weaker than a baby. However, this long sword contained a terrifying sword aura. It made him feel uneasy. It was as if he was being stared at by a peerless swordsman who had triggered a sword aura that could tear the sky. Dong! In midair, the huge hand made of magic power collided with the sword. However, the long sword instantly pierced through the huge hand made of magic power. The tyrannical sword energy instantly tore the magic power into countless pieces. This long sword was unstoppable. It did not slow down in the slightest and continued to shoot toward Fan Ming's body. It had already surpassed 20 to 30 times the speed of sound. This kind of speed was so fast that the surrounding cultivators couldn't even see it clearly. They only saw a dazzling cold light in the air, emitting a murderous aura that was bone-chilling. Not good. Fan Ming's hair stood on end, and he could feel all the cells in his body boiling. A dangerous aura spread throughout his body, as if the Grim Reaper had descended upon him. He could clearly feel that this long sword was different from other treasured swords. It contained a trace of the aura of a saint, as if there was a Taoist rhyme within it. It was unfathomable. Just a strand of this aura was enough to tear everything apart. Ordinary magic treasures would not be able to withstand such a sharp edge. Meteor Fist. Fan Ming roared, and all the magic in his body started to circulate. He immediately used one of his martial arts mystiques and punched out. Countless gray air currents in the air rapidly gathered together, turning into a huge gray meteor. This gray meteor looked simple and unadorned. It was surrounded by air currents and kept spinning like a star. Under Fan Ming's control, it smashed towards Xia Ping. This was a martial arts mystique that he had cultivated. It was very powerful. When he punched out, it was like a meteor smashing the ground. It had the power to destroy cities, and ordinary cultivators would not be able to withstand a single punch from him. With such a martial arts mystique, even a light blow was enough to blast a huge hole in the ground. Moreover, Fan Ming felt that he was in mortal danger, and so he used his full strength. Dong! In an instant, the meteor and the long sword collided in midair. Immediately, there was a loud sound of collision. The force of the collision shook, as though it had shaken thousands of times in a second, producing an extremely strong destructive force. The force of the collision caused a huge hole in the ground. Soil flew everywhere, and the ground cracked. The impact extended for 2 to 3 kilometers, and rocks were shattered into pieces. The surrounding cultivators were sent flying, coughing up blood in midair. Their organs were all severely injured. Some of the poisoned cultivators were unable to resist at all. They were shaken into a pile of minced meat on the spot, dying without a complete corpse. Impossible. Fan Ming had thought that his mystique punch would be able to send the long sword flying even if it was unable to shatter it. However, the moment his fist came into contact with the long sword, he realized that he was wrong. Very wrong. This was because the sharpness of the long sword was completely beyond his imagination. It had an invincible might, and a mere meteor would not be able to withstand the sharpness of the long sword. Kacha, kacha. In the blink of an eye, the long sword pierced through the meteor, shattering it from the middle. The surrounding mana was pierced through as though it had turned into nothingness at that moment. In the next second, the long sword pierced through Fan Ming's chest, causing blood to splatter everywhere. Even though he was wearing an superior grade armor, it was more fragile than tofu in the face of the endless blades. Arg! Fan Ming let out a shrill cry, feeling waves of intense pain coming from the depths of his chest. It then rapidly spread to every nerve in his body. He was practically insane, sinking into the abyss of despair. That was because the sword had not only pierced through his chest, but even his heart had been destroyed on the spot. Blood spurted out of his body like a fountain, splattering all over the ground. I am dead. Fan Ming's eyes were wide open, unable to believe what was happening before his eyes. He was a mystique realm cultivator, had mastered a martial arts mystique, and was extremely powerful in combat. The other party was just a fulfillment realm cultivator, and he was even poisoned. But now, with just a single move, it had pierced through his heart and taken his life. How could he dare to believe such an absurd thing? However, even if he did not believe it, Fan Ming felt the strength in his body rapidly disappear. He felt as though his eyes were turning dark, and he was slowly falling into the deepest depths of the abyss of hell. Whoosh! With a thought from Xia Ping, the long sword immediately retracted and left Fan Ming's body. With a few splurts, the wound on Fan Ming's body expanded, and blood spurted out. Chapter 1161. When Fan Ming fell to the ground and was killed in an instant, everyone was shocked. Is this a joke? Senior brother Fan Ming is dead? Impossible. Something like this can't happen. Senior brother Fan Ming is a divine realm cultivator. How could a mere fulfillment realm wandering cultivator kill him? That's right. It must be an illusion. The kid was poisoned and has no mana. How could he have the strength to kill senior brother Fan Ming? That's right, but senior brother Fan Ming is really lying on the ground. His heart has been pierced. If this isn't death, then what is? And I don't feel like I'm hallucinating. No, this isn't an illusion. Senior brother Fan Ming was killed by this kid. Many of the Gue Yuan sect disciples were shocked. Looking at Xia Ping who stood there silently, they could not help but feel a bone-piercing chill. It was as if they were looking at the god of death. This kid was clearly just a fulfillment realm cultivator, and he was also poisoned, but he was still able to kill Fan Ming in this situation. It was truly inconceivable. The way they looked at Xia Ping suddenly became incomparably frightened. They felt that this kid was a monster who had hidden himself well. He's too strong. He killed Fan Ming in an instant. No wonder he wasn't afraid when he killed Fengzhi of Gue Yuan sect last night. If he had the strength to kill a divine realm cultivator, then this wouldn't be surprising. However, to be able to kill a divine realm cultivator above his level. This kind of combat power is rare even in a sacred sect. How could a mere wandering cultivator be so strong? The number of wandering cultivators is too large. Although most of them are weak, there are a few monstrous geniuses. I have to say, there are too many hidden dragons and crouching tigers in this world. As expected of Big Brother Wu. I knew his strength was unfathomable. Chang Xian and the others were also shocked. Although they had seen Xia Ping's strength last night, it was only the tip of the iceberg. No matter how imaginative they were, they did not think that Xia Ping would have the strength to kill a divine realm cultivator like Fan Ming in an instant. It was too shocking. No, that's not right. You still have mana in your body. Are you not poisoned? But I saw you eat all the food. Chen Wei's face darkened. He did not feel any pain over Fan Ming's death, but he was very dissatisfied with Xia Ping, the unexpected pawn. He felt that his perfect plan had been disrupted by this unexpected factor. If his perfect plan was overturned by this brat, then the joke would be too big. He would never allow such an accident to happen. Who knows? Why don't you go to hell and ask the king of hell what happened? Xia Ping narrowed his eyes and gave his suggestion to Chen Wei. Arrogant. Chen Wei harumphed coldly. You think you can live just because you killed Fan Ming? He's simply overestimating himself. Junior brothers, let's attack together and slaughter this madman. A terrifying murderous aura emanated from his body. Although he didn't know why this kid wasn't poisoned, they still had the absolute advantage in the current situation. So what if he wasn't poisoned? Even with their combined strength, it was enough to kill this brat dozens of times. Whoosh! In an instant, 3 or 4 Gue Yuan sect disciples immediately rushed out from the side. All of them were cultivators at the peak of the fulfillment realm. Their figures were like ghosts, silently approaching Xia Ping. Go to hell, Master Potato! This group of people shouted. With a clang, they all took out a long sword from their bodies and stabbed at Xia Ping. Immediately, dozens of terrifying sword chi blasted out, like a poisonous snake, extremely fast and vicious. They all happened to be in the blind spots of Xia Ping's sight, and there was no way to avoid. Oh no! Chang Xian and others all felt a chill in their hearts. With so many experts attacking Xia Ping at the same time, it was difficult for 2 fists to fight against 4 hands. As long as a sharp sword stabbed Xia Ping, he would be eliminated on the spot. This battle could not tolerate any mistakes. Dark North Body Protection Art. Xia Ping sneered and operated the mana in his body. A huge energy shield rose up, and a vague Kuan Peng appeared behind him, wandering in the void. This energy shield was flowing like water, constantly rotating, as if the yin and yang were in a spiral state, like a whirlpool, containing many mysterious runes. Bang bang bang. In the blink of an eye, these sword chi all bombarded on Xia Ping's body, immediately bursting out a banging sound. What? These Gue Yuan sect disciples were all shocked because they found that when their sword chi bombarded on this kid, it was instantly swallowed by this energy shield, like being involved in a whirlpool, unable to hurt this kid at all. They even felt that their bodies were controlled by the tyrannical devouring power. Even if they wanted to leave this place, it was extremely difficult, as if the breath on their body was completely locked. All of you, go to hell. Xia Ping's body was filled with murderous intent, as if at this moment, dozens of miles turned into a bloody domain, full of bone-piercing killing intent. Help, Senior Brother Chen. These Gue Yuan sect disciples were scared half to death, and their faces were ashen. They seemed to feel the moment of death, knowing that they could not escape the attack range of this terrible rogue cultivator. They couldn't help but cry for help. Trash rogue cultivator, stop immediately. The 2 or 3 Gue Yuan sect disciples next to him saw this. They could no longer sit still. If this kid continued like this, a few more Gue Yuan sect disciples would definitely die. With such a thing happening, they couldn't just sit back and do nothing. Immediately, they attacked, splitting into several directions to attack Xia Ping, wanting to besiege the weak to save the weak. I said, no one can save the person I want to kill. Yang God Fist. Xia Ping took a step forward, and used the Holy Class unique skill, Yang God Fist. In an instant, this fist was like the sun rising from the east, endless heat gathered in the fist, and a terrifying flame exploded at this moment, producing a terrifying explosive force. Oh no! The 3 or 4 Gue Yuan sect disciples' faces turned green. Such a flame contained a terrifying destructive aura. Although it was not close, they could feel the power to incinerate everything, and this was definitely something they could not defend against. Rumble in the next second, the power of this fist exploded, and flames swept across the sky, instantly surrounding the Gue Yuan sect disciples, like a flaming demon swallowing all of them. Ah ah ah! They immediately let out shrill cries, as if they were in a fiery hell. Every cell in their body was burning, and they were in unbearable pain. Moreover, this was not an instant death, but under the burning of the fire crow, they died bit by bit, as if they could see the process of their own death. It was an extremely painful torture. Chapter 1162. Damn it! The expressions of the three Divine Realm Gue Yuan sect disciples changed. They could feel the terror of this punch. Even though they were Divine Realm cultivators, they couldn't block it and had to avoid it. The power of the fire contained in it was too terrifying. It specialized in burning magic power. Once they touched it, they wouldn't be able to block it even if they cultivated a good defensive technique. Even if it couldn't kill them, it could make them lose half their lives. What kind of fire is this? Why is its power so terrifying? Everyone was shocked. They could feel the terror of Xia Ping's punch. It was as if the fire was an extreme flame that erupted from the depths of a star. It was filled with destruction, burning, and other characteristics. If it came into contact with it, it would not rest until the object was burned to ashes. In the universe, many people called this type of fire unusual fire. This guy isn't a normal wandering cultivator. He has an unusual fire. No wonder he dares to enter the blood-soul continent and act so arrogantly. Chen Wei's expression was very ugly. He felt that he had underestimated this wandering cultivator. Just this strength was enough for him to sweep through Fulfillment Realm cultivators. If he wasn't careful, even Divine Realm cultivators would be heavily injured. After all, the power of an unusual fire was not to be underestimated. What a terrifying extraterrestrial demon! Zhua Hao and the other Soul Race members were also shocked. It was their first time encountering such a terrifying extraterrestrial demon. It was like a demon god that controlled fire and emitted power that could destroy the world. Am I going to break through? Xia Ping's heart moved. He realized that a barrier deep within his purple mansion space had suddenly shattered. There was a crackling sound like glass shattering. He immediately knew that he was about to reach Fulfillment Realm middle stage. Previously, he had devoured a large number of soul stones, causing his consciousness and magic power to be greatly strengthened. He had long been at the peak of Fulfillment Realm early stage. He was just one step away, or just one opportunity, and he would be able to reach Fulfillment Realm middle stage. Now, this opportunity had finally come. Under the attack of the Gue Yuan sect disciples, his body was stimulated. The enormous potential in his body was stimulated, and a large amount of magic power surged out. Coincidentally, this magic power was like a step that helped him break through to Fulfillment Realm middle stage. Once he reached Fulfillment Realm middle stage, his consciousness power, magic power, and body quality would all be greatly strengthened. It would be incomparable to before. It wouldn't be difficult for him to even go up against an early-stage divine tier cultivator. Since that's the case, let's make a breakthrough. Xia Ping also didn't continue to control the surging magic power in the depths of his purple mansion. With a dong sound, his brain region trembled, and a barrier was broken. Immediately, a large amount of magic power flooded into the purple mansion. In the depths of the purple palace, the raging sea formed by the condensation of magic power formed a huge whirlpool. It spun continuously in the middle and quickly drilled into the depths of the purple palace. As the water continued to swirl, it went deeper and deeper, opening up the Violet Kingdom space. Immediately, the entire Violet Kingdom space expanded, and the area of the sea also expanded. Fulfillment Realm middle stage. Xia Ping immediately felt enlightened. He knew that he had finally stepped into the middle stage of the Fulfillment Realm. At this moment, the space of his purple mansion was twice as large as it was before. A huge amount of magic power surged in the depths of his purple mansion. It was like a raging storm. A terrifying aura erupted from his body. With his body as the center, the area within a radius of 100 kilometers was enveloped by this magic power, setting off a boundless storm. What's going on? What's going on? The surrounding people were shocked. They felt the terrifying aura erupting from Xia Ping's body. It condensed into a solid wall of air, crazily pushing in all directions. The people around him couldn't withstand it and all retreated 2 or 3 kilometers. Some of the weaker cultivators were directly blown away by this aura, coughing up blood in midair. Are you kidding me? This kid broke through and is about to advance to the middle stage of the fulfillment realm? Someone immediately felt that the kid's aura was completely different from before. It was much stronger. Obviously, he was about to break through and step into a new realm. Oh my god, is this kid crazy? He can actually break through like this? Many of the Gue Yuan sect disciples couldn't believe their eyes. This was clearly a battle of life and death, but this kid actually used this opportunity to break through. They had never seen something like this before. His consciousness has also become stronger. Xia Ping didn't care about the surrounding people's shock. He was immersed in his emotions of advancing to the middle stage of the fulfillment realm. The power of his consciousness was also much stronger than before. He only moved his thoughts slightly, and the area within a radius of a few hundred kilometers was covered by his consciousness. Nothing could hide from the power of his consciousness. He even condensed the power of his consciousness and produced a strange power in the air. The small rocks on the ground were all trembling, as though they could float under his control. The strength of his consciousness was already enough to affect the material world. With a crack, Xia Ping used the power of his consciousness and slammed it against a rock. The rock actually shattered, and a huge crack instantly appeared. The golden crow of hell cells are also awakening. It wasn't as simple as his consciousness evolving. Xia Ping also felt that a total of 1,000 golden crow of hell cells in the depths of his body were awakening again. Immediately, a huge amount of golden crow of hell energy surged out. The blood in the depths of his body flowed like magma, showing a pale golden color like the blood of a god. It emitted an ancient, sacred, noble, chaotic, and other aura. At this moment, his bones, muscles, meridians, skin, hair, and other parts were all strengthened. They crackled, and even his bones showed a pale golden color. Vaguely, the surrounding air seemed to boil, as though a sun was rising. Deep in the sun, there seemed to be a divine bird living, raising its head to the sky and roaring, resonating with the heaven and earth. The whole earth was shaking. What is this? The surrounding people were trembling. Feeling this ancient aura, they were so scared that they almost peed their pants. They wanted to immediately crawl on the ground, as though they had encountered an unrivaled god. Daring to attack such a god was blasphemy and would be punished by the heavens. This was an opponent that mortals couldn't match. If they dared to attack, they would die. No, I can't let him continue to break through. I must stop him and make him go mad. Chen Wei's expression changed. He felt that this Master Potato was becoming more and more of a threat. It seemed that after advancing to the middle stage of the fulfillment realm, he already had a terrifying power that could rival the divine power realm cultivators. He felt that this absolutely couldn't continue. He must strangle this threat in the cradle. Leave it to me. I will kill him. Chapter 1163. If there was anyone present who wanted to kill Xia Ping more than Chen Wei, it would undoubtedly be Zhua Hao. As a native of the Blood Soul mainland, he hated extraterrestrial fiends to the core and wanted to kill them all without mercy. Furthermore, this extraterrestrial fiend had even captured his exclusive property, Lu Rulan, and did all sorts of indescribable things to her. That was enough to make him explode in anger. It was as if he had been cheated on. Zhua Hao hated Xia Ping to the core and wanted to kill him as soon as possible. Therefore, he would not allow this kid to continue growing stronger and become a huge threat to him. Let's attack together and kill this kid. Zhua Hao commanded his subordinates and 2 or 3 of his early phase soul race friends. He had no intention of fighting alone as it was a fight to the death. Using the fastest and cruelest method to kill the opponent was the correct way to go. Yes. Many people from the soul race nodded. They could also feel the lethal threat from this kid, so they did not hesitate to follow Zhua Hao's orders. Soul race secret technique, Mount Tai overhead. In an instant, their mental powers fused together. Strands of mental powers fused and converged, producing an extremely terrifying mental power. Immediately, a mountain formed by the power of the soul appeared. Like a mirage, it emitted an extremely strong sense of oppression, enough to affect the space around it. What is this? The surrounding people were shocked. They could feel the terrifying mental pressure from these people from the soul race. It was as if they had encountered an ancient beast. It was as if the opponent could crush them into pieces with just a slight movement. Oh no, this is the Mount Tai overhead. These people want to kill. Lu Roland's expression changed. As a former saintess of the Soul Hall's branch palace, she naturally knew how terrifying the Mount Tai overhead was. It used soul power to form a mountain of nothingness. It was extremely heavy and crushed down like Mount Tai, violently attacking the enemy's soul. If the enemy could block this move, they would live. If not, they would die. However, most enemies could not block it. This was a sure kill move. Back then, when the Blood Soul mainland was invaded by extraterrestrial fiends, it was this move that instantly killed countless extraterrestrial fiends. Because this move could fuse the soul energy of countless soul race experts, the more people there were, the greater the explosive power. How could a single person's soul force resist the soul force of dozens or even hundreds of people? Therefore, most of the outer realm fiends would be instantly killed, their souls destroyed. Although there weren't several hundred of them, there were 3 to 4 divine ability realm cultivators and 20 to 30 fulfillment realm cultivators. Their combined strength was extremely terrifying. Once touched, he would die without a doubt. The soul race is truly terrifying. A look of fear appeared on Chen Wei's face. The reason why he had chosen to cooperate with the soul race and sign a spiritual contract instead of killing all of them and obtaining all the soul stones was because of the soul race. It was because he was wary of this move from the soul race. Once the other party was forced into a desperate situation, even a final counterattack before death could kill them all. The secret soul technique was truly terrifying. This was also the reason why the death rate in the Blood Soul continent was so high. It would be fine if the soul tribe didn't discover them, but once they did, they would basically die. But this way, this kid is dead for sure. Chen Wei looked at Xia Ping pitifully, thinking that this kid was extremely unlucky. He had just broken through and didn't even have the time to celebrate before he was killed on the spot. However, this was also the fate of a rogue cultivator. He offended Chen Wei and even dared to kill a disciple of the Gue Yuan sect. If he still didn't die after this, there would be no justice in the world. Go to hell. Zhua Hao shouted angrily, his body filled with a terrifying murderous intent. Rumble immediately, a huge mountain came crashing down on Xia Ping's soul. It was as if Mount Tai was crashing down on him. The air exploded inch by inch, as if it was going to crush the ground. The soul force of dozens of people gathered together, especially the soul force of a few divine ability realm cultivators, was unbelievably strong. Ordinary people would be crushed just by touching it. Before it reached Xia Ping, there were dozens of universe warriors on the ground who couldn't withstand it and were instantly crushed. Blood flowed out of their orifices and their souls were destroyed. They died just like that. What a strong soul force attack. Xia Ping's eyes flashed coldly. He could feel that this soul force attack was extraordinary. It was pure strength. When fighting with the enemy, whoever was stronger would win. However, no matter how strong this power was, it was still far from the soul imprint on the Qian Kun wall. In an instant, he activated the Tree of World in the depths of his soul. Whoosh! A towering tree appeared. It seemed to have taken root in the void, giving birth to countless branches. It was as if it was a natural treasure that had existed since ancient times. The moment it appeared, the world seemed to be in a state of stillness. It emitted a faint green light, as if everything within a radius of tens of miles was in a green domain. Boom! At this moment, a huge mountain came crashing down from the void, smashing onto the Tree of World. However, In an instant, the mountain collapsed, shattering inch by inch into countless pieces. No matter how strong the mountain was, it wasn't even worth mentioning in front of the Tree of World. It couldn't even crush a single branch. When it smashed down, the branch pierced through the entire mountain. Moreover, Xia Ping stood where he was, unharmed. How is this possible? Zhuo Hao and the others were dumbfounded. Dozens of them had joined forces to use the Mount Tai crushing technique in order to destroy this kid with lightning speed and get rid of this threat. However, from the looks of it, the Mount Tai crushing technique didn't seem to have any effect on this kid. Instead, their own Mount Tai had collapsed, and nothing had happened to Yi Futian. This was too ridiculous. Could it be that Yi Futian's soul force was stronger than dozens of them combined? Otherwise, how could such an unimaginable thing happen? Kill! Before Zhuo Hao and the others could figure out what had happened, Xia Ping was unforgiving. He activated the power of the Tree of World. Whoosh! Immediately, the Tree of World trembled, and countless branches extended rapidly. Like god-slaying spears, they stabbed towards Zhuo Hao and the other soul cultivators. This was a stab of nothingness. This was a stab aimed at the soul. Bang, bang, bang. Without any obstruction, these branches instantly pierced through the souls of the soul cultivators, turning their souls upside down. It was as if they had been torn into pieces in an instant. Ah! Chapter 1164. Pft! One by one, the soul natives could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. They had failed to kill Xia Ping and instead suffered a backlash. Their souls were severely injured and they bled from their orifices. Bang bang bang. Soon, they all fell to the ground one by one. Large amounts of blood flowed out of their bodies. 2 of their eyeballs had exploded on the spot and their bodies twitched continuously. Not long after, the soul natives stopped twitching. They were clearly no longer alive. They're all dead. Lu Roland's beautiful eyes widened as she looked at the group of soul soldiers. She could clearly sense that they no longer had any signs of life. All that was left of their bodies were empty shells. This was the terrifying part of a battle of mind power. Success was naturally great as they could kill the enemy instantly. However, failure would result in a backlash that would affect their bodies and result in instant death. There was no such thing as captivity in a war on the blood-soul mainland. A battle of mind power between both sides was filled with the risk of death. Once they failed, they had no other choice but to die. Even if they survived, they would become idiots. This was the cruel part of a battle on the blood-soul mainland. In a battle among the soul race, there was only victory and death. Oh no, run quickly. However, Zhuo Hao was not dead yet. Although he was also heavily injured, the problem was that his cultivation was stronger. Moreover, he had sensed that something was wrong at the crucial moment and quickly retracted his divine consciousness. As a result, he suffered a relatively minor backlash and was only heavily injured physically. However, the others were in a terrible state. All of their souls had been pierced by the world tree and completely shattered. Even a deity would not be able to save their lives. Immediately, he felt a sincere fear towards Xia Ping. They were no match for such a monster. If they stayed here, they would definitely be killed by this extraterrestrial demon. Whoosh! Without another word, Zhuo Hao quickly fled as if he wished his parents had given him more legs. He fled into the distance, hoping to get away from this demon and escape with his life. Don't even think of running. Xia Ping would not let Zhuo Hao escape. Once he did, he would definitely inform the Soul Hall. When that happened, he would definitely be hunted down by countless people on the blood-soul mainland. The consequences would be endless. Therefore, Zhuo Hao would definitely die. He did not even look and pointed at the void. With a whoosh, a condensed force shot out. It was extremely fast and tore through the air like a laser. With a bang, the the force pierced through Zhuao's back. Even his heart was crushed on the spot. This. Zhuao's body immediately stopped moving. His eyes were wide open, filled with fear, unwillingness, and regret. If he hadn't cooperated with Chen Wei, perhaps he wouldn't have met such a fate. He wouldn't have met such a death god. But no matter what, it was too late. With a putong sound, his body went rigid, losing all signs of life, falling to the ground just like that. Large amounts of blood flowed out from his body, covering the surrounding muddy earth. Mom, Dad, I've finally avenged you. Lu Rolan was overcome with emotion when she saw Zhuao die on the spot. The enemy who had killed her entire family had finally died in front of her. Although she was not the one who had killed the traitor, it did not matter. In short, the death of this enemy was the best thing. She had finally gotten her revenge. Damn it, where did this monster come from? Even the Spirita's Mount Tai suppression art couldn't do anything to him. Instead, it was instantly killed by him. Many Spirita's warriors were killed by the backlash of their mental strength. Just how powerful is his divine sense? It's not necessarily the power of divine sense. Maybe he has some kind of powerful secret treasure that can resist mental strength attacks. That's why he is unharmed. Damn it, even the Spirita's warriors are no match for him. Does he want to overturn the heavens? Many Gue Yuan sect disciples' faces were extremely ugly. Originally, this battle was within their grasp. They should have been able to kill this group of people, complete the spiritual contract with the Spiritas, and obtain a large number of soul stones. The original plan was very smooth at the beginning. Most of the people were poisoned and did not have the strength to fight with them. They were like sheep waiting to be slaughtered. However, they did not expect that a rogue cultivator, Wu Taidu, would suddenly appear and completely destroy their plan. Even senior brother Fan Ming and the others died tragically in his hands. Now, the group of Spirita's soldiers were all killed. Not a single one was left. Although they didn't care about the death of the Soul Race soldiers, the power displayed by Master Mateto made their hearts palpitate and they felt as if there was a blade on their backs. Wu Taidu. Chen Wei stared at Xia Ping and said, I admit that I underestimated you before. I am very sorry about this. If you are willing, I can share this soul stone mine equally with you. Anyway, now that this group of Spiritas is dead, no one can stop us. He wanted to bury the hatchet with Xia Ping. If he could resolve the conflict, it would be for the best. Many Gue Yuan sect disciples clenched their fists. They were very unwilling. Now, they actually wanted to talk peace with this rogue cultivator who killed so many Gue Yuan sect disciples. It was simply a joke. Since when did the Gue Yuan sect bow to this extent? Facing this murderer, they could only talk peace. They could not kill this devil on the spot and take revenge. Their hearts were filled with anger and unwillingness. Equally. Xia Ping suddenly smiled, but it was a mocking smile. He looked at Chen Wei and said, Chen Wei, when you wanted to kill me just now, why didn't you think of equally? If he did not have a little strength, he would have been killed by Chen Wei. He would have died without a burial place. This was a deadly feud. Now that this kid saw that he had the power to kill everyone present, he wanted to talk peace and bury the hatchet. If killing people and doing evil things could be settled by just apologizing and drinking 3 glasses of wine as punishment, then what was the point of having the police and the law? Since you refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit, then go to hell. Chen Wei snorted coldly. Hearing these words, he knew that it was impossible to talk peace. They had to fight to see who was stronger. With a clang, a cold light exploded. Immediately, a 3 feet long black sword appeared in his hand. This was a low-grade spiritual weapon, shadow-devouring demon sword. Kid, I will let you know how terrible it is to offend Gue Yuan sect and me. You will regret in the depths of hell why you met me, Chen Wei. Chen Wei sneered again and again. He infused his magic power into the shadow-devouring demon sword. Walala, the shadow-devouring demon sword immediately trembled. A black fog emanated from its body and spread out rapidly. In just a few breaths' time, the black fog covered a radius of more than 10 kilometers. This black fog contained an extremely strong corrosive aura. It was extremely destructive to magic power and could even blind the 5 senses. It was definitely a demonic sword. Chapter 1165. Xia Ping's eyes flashed. He sensed that the entire world had darkened. A radius of dozens of kilometers was shrouded in black mist. Not a single ray of sunlight could seep in. It was as if he was in a world of darkness. In a world of darkness like this, one's vision had already been taken away. It was equivalent to losing a portion of one's power and being at a relative disadvantage. He even sensed that in this world of darkness, even the power of consciousness was greatly hindered. It was as if some powerful force was repelling consciousness. Of course, for someone with an enormous consciousness like him, this bit of hindrance was nothing. But for cultivators of the same level, or even those in the transcendent realm, it was a nightmarish scene. Kill. Die, Master Mateto. At this moment, a terrifying murderous intent came from the darkness. The ones who attacked were the remaining 3 Transcendent Realm cultivators and 5 Fulfillment Realm cultivators. They took this opportunity to attack. One was a Transcendent Realm cultivator who mastered the martial arts Mystic Art, Flowing Water Fist. His mana surged like the boundless sea, manipulating the water energy of the world to form mountains and rivers. In the air, streams of water condensed into substance like water dragons and strangled towards Xia Ping. Once hit, his entire body would be shattered. One was a cultivator who mastered the martial arts Mystic Art, Demon Eagle Claw. This was a claw technique that imitated the ancient demon eagle. When it was unleashed, it was as if an ancient ferocious bird had come back to life, emitting endless baleful aura and killing intent. In an instant, a black eagle claw reached over, tearing through the air. Endless air currents gathered in this sharp claw. He wanted to crush Xia Ping's entire body. The last one was a cultivator who mastered the Blade Dao Mystic Art, Greenwood Blade Art. He gripped his blade tightly and slashed horizontally. Endless wood energy gathered in the blade. With a thud, he stabbed the blade into the ground and a terrifying wood mana poured into the earth. Immediately, the wood mana that symbolized endless vitality covered an area. On the ground, green vines grew out like poisonous snakes. They broke out of the ground and instantly wrapped around Xia Ping. If he was caught by these vines, he would die without a doubt. The other 5 Fulfillment Realm cultivators followed behind him. They worked together and formed a unique formation. Their breathing merged together as if they were one, and their aura was no weaker than that of a Divine Ability Realm cultivator. This group of people seemed to be used to fighting in the dark. In a world of darkness like this, they were like fish in water. They clearly knew where Xia Ping was. Not bad. Xia Ping could feel the pressure coming towards him. If it was before, he might have had a hard time dealing with this pressure, and he might have been surrounded by danger. But after advancing to the middle stage of the Fulfillment Realm, his magic power was twice as strong as before, and his divine sense was also twice as strong. He had even awakened 1,000 golden crow hell cells and tempered his body. It could be said that his current strength was not inferior to a cultivator in the early phase of Divine Realm. Even if this group of people came in a menacing manner, they were still not enough to give him a lethal pressure. Black Vortex Ripple Fist. Just as these people were about to attack, Xia Ping took a step forward and suddenly punched out. The magic power in the depths of his Zifu surged out like a surging wave and instilled into his fist. Boom boom boom. In an instant, the world's yuan qi in the surroundings vibrated. With Xia Ping's fist as the center, it turned into a huge black vortex of magic power, covering the surrounding area and producing a terrifying suction force. It seemed that at this moment, the surrounding air had turned into black water. Any sunlight that entered this vortex was completely devoured, like a black hole. What? These Gue Yuan sect disciples were shocked. They could not believe their eyes because they found that all their attacks landed on the black vortex, but they did not have any effect and were completely devoured. Whether it was water, eagle claws, or vines, they disappeared as soon as they entered the black vortex. It was as if they had entered the mouth of a giant beast, and were instantly digested. Kill! A cold light flashed in Xia Ping's eyes, and he punched again. This was an extreme punch, containing the profound of a saint-level fist technique, filled with the power of a spiral. In the void, dozens of fist marks immediately appeared, condensing into a solid form. It was like a punch that had existed since ancient times, shaking the void and exploding the air with the power to tear a mountain apart. Ah! Immediately, these Gue Yuan sect disciples could not block it and were immediately hit by this punch. The terrifying spiral force seeped into their bodies. Even if they had protective skills, it was useless, and they were instantly torn apart by the fist force. First, the bodies of the 5 fulfillment realm cultivators exploded on the spot like watermelons, exploding in midair. They were killed by a single punch just like that. The remaining 3 mystic realm cultivators were strong and had strong bodies. Although they were in a better situation, the strong fist force still seeped into their lungs and destroyed them crazily. It was as if they were being minced by a meat grinder, and they were heavily injured on the spot. Oh no, this guy is a monster. Fuck his ancestors. Who said that this guy is a loose cultivator? He's a monster. Retreat, retreat, retreat immediately. We can't fight him head-on. The 3 Gue Yuan sect mystic realm cultivators were so scared that they peed their pants. They had joined forces and were actually killed by this guy. 5 of their juniors were killed on the spot, and the 3 of them were heavily injured. If there was another punch, they would not be able to survive. Before this, they were still mocking Master Mateto for being a loose cultivator who came to suck up to them to complete the task. Now, it seemed that he did not need to suck up to them. It was already good enough that they did not suck up to him. They reckoned that even among the saint-class sects, there was no such terrifying monster. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The 3 mystic realm cultivators were so scared that their faces were ashen. They did not dare to stay where they were. They rolled and crawled, using all their skills to leave this dangerous place. Die! Xia Ping dashed forward and used the rock steps. A pair of infernal golden crow wings grew on his back. One side was red and the other was black. The feathers were condensed from flames and seemed to contain countless mysterious runes. With a whoosh, his speed was extremely fast. Countless figures appeared in midair. In an instant, he arrived in front of the 3 Gue Yuan sect mystic realm disciples and threw a punch. Not good. The expressions of the 3 mystic realm cultivators changed. They tried to block, but it was too late. The punch landed on their bodies. It was like the attack of an ancient elephant, enough to penetrate the earth. With a dong, their bodies were immediately penetrated by the fist force. A huge bloody hole appeared on their chests. Boom! Chapter 1166. Whoosh! Just as Xia Ping landed on the ground, a dazzling cold light flashed in the darkness, like a strand of sword energy piercing through the sky, striking towards his back. It could be said that this sword was simply wonderful, taking advantage of the moment when Xia Ping's old strength was exhausted and new strength had yet to be generated. It came to kill, wanting to pierce through Xia Ping's body. The one who attacked was obviously Qin Wei. He had been hiding in the dark for a long time, even when he saw his junior brother killed by Xia Ping with one punch, and many of his junior brothers dying on the spot. He was indifferent, not even the slightest bit moved. Until this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity appeared, he suddenly appeared again, wanting to kill Xia Ping with one sword. Die, Master Potato! Chen Wei shouted. His face was extremely ferocious. He held the low-grade spirit weapon, shadow-devouring demon sword, in his hand, displaying a sure-kill sword. He himself was at the early stage of divinity realm, coupled with the power of the low-grade spirit weapon. This sword was extremely frightening. The sword energy condensed into a substance, like a poisonous snake. It had the power to destroy everything. Dong! Xia Ping stood in the same place, the sword also firmly stabbed into Xia Ping's body. The powerful and sharp sword energy burst out, but at this moment, a layer of black energy appeared on Xia Ping's body. Low-grade spirit weapon, black horn armor. In this dangerous moment, Xia Ping also activated the low-grade spiritual weapon black horn armor on his body. Layers of black energy shields appeared, and many tortoiseshell patterns appeared, condensing into a solid form. It had an extremely powerful defensive ability, as if a black-horned ferocious beast had descended, and it had the defensive ability to block most attacks. Rumble! At this moment, the shadow-devouring demon sword and the black horn armor collided. This was the collision of low-grade spirit weapons against low-grade spirit weapons. It was a contest between a spear and a shield. It immediately burst out an earth-shattering sound. Two energies collided, it ignited dazzling sparks. The aftermath of this energy immediately shook the ground, penetrating hundreds of meters. The earth split open, unexpectedly forming a huge abyss. Impossible! You also have a low-grade spirit weapon, and it is a defensive type. Chen Wei was shocked. He originally thought that his sword was flawless, he could kill Master Potato. Who would have thought that this kid also had a lower-grade spiritual weapon on him? Moreover, it was a defensive lower-grade spiritual weapon. One must know that in the universe, a spirit artifact was considered a high-grade artifact. It was not something that could be easily bought. Even Chen Wei had to pay a huge price to obtain it. However, this kid actually also had a low-grade spiritual weapon on him. This was really too unfair. Why did this rogue cultivator have so many trump cards on him? Moreover, he seemed to be richer than him. He was so jealous that his intestines turned green. You're the only one allowed to have a magic treasure, but I don't. Do you think you can kill me just because you found this opportunity? What a joke, your every move is within my observation range. Even if you raise your tail, I would know if you want to shit or pee. Xia Ping said in disdain, give up, you can't kill me. No, I don't believe that I can't kill you. I, Chen Wei, am a dignified divine realm cultivator. How can I not kill a mere fulfillment realm wandering cultivator like you? That's impossible. Chen Wei roared, unwilling to give up. This matter was related to his pride. He thought of himself as a genius disciple of the Gue Yuan sect and a divine realm cultivator. If he couldn't even kill a mere fulfillment realm wandering cultivator, then he would have no face to speak of. If he, Chen Wei, retreated here, thinking that he was no match for this rogue cultivator, then when he ascended to a higher realm in the future, it would definitely become a demon in his heart. This would become a huge obstacle on his path to becoming a sage. No matter what, Chen Wei would not allow such a thing to happen. He had to kill this arrogant rogue cultivator. Only then would he be able to think clearly. Whoosh! At this moment, he poured all of his mana into the shadow-devouring demon sword. Immediately, the sword was activated with a majestic black demonic chi, flashing with black sword light. Many formation runes appeared on its surface. Countless black demonic chi emanated from the void, seemingly condensing into blood-colored skulls. At this moment, the temperature of the area within a radius of several dozen miles seemed to have dropped. Waves of bone-chilling cold spread out. The ground seemed to be swept by this cold current, quickly freezing over. This was not ordinary cold chi, but demonic chi. It had a terrifying aura that could corrode ordinary life. Break, break for me, hurry up and break for me. Chen Wei gripped the shadow-devouring demon sword in his hand and roared madly. He desperately wanted to use this sword to pierce through the defense of the black horn armor. His entire body was trembling, and he bit his lips so hard that they almost bled. Bang bang bang. Suddenly, the 3-foot-long sword pierced the black energy shield, exploding with dazzling sparks. It sounded like steel rubbing against the ground, clanging. Under Chen Wei's control, the sword pierced through the black energy shield bit by bit. Break my ass. So noisy. Without waiting for Chen Wei to continue, Xia Ping immediately attacked. He would not foolishly watch Chen Wei pierce through his black horn armor. He immediately slapped at Chen Wei. Oh no! Chen Wei's expression changed. He wanted to dodge Xia Ping's attack, but he found that his shadow-devouring demon sword had long been trapped in the energy shield of the black horn armor. At this moment, he could not move at all. Dong! A palm came from the void. It was like the attack of a ferocious beast. It contained an extremely fierce palm power. It slapped Chen Wei's body, and the air exploded. Ah! Chen Wei let out a shrill scream. He could not hold the shadow-devouring demon sword in his hand. His body flew out like a ball, sliding in the air. The terrifying palm power penetrated his internal organs. More than a dozen of his ribs were broken. Every nerve in his body was hurting. It was more painful than having tens of thousands of ants biting his body. What shocked Chen Wei the most was that the palm power contained a terrifying flame power. It was a strange flame. It seeped into his body and quickly burned away his Dharma power. This also caused his Dharma power to be in disorder. Bang! Chen Wei hit the ground hard like a dead dog. The ground shook, and more than a dozen cracks appeared. As he fell to the ground, the shadow-devouring demon sword lost its power. The surrounding black fog quickly dissipated, and the clear world was restored. The sun shone brightly. However, most of the disciples from the various sects had died in the battle just now. They were either killed by the disciples of the Gue Yuan sect or killed by the attack of the Soul Clan warriors. Only Chang Xian and a few others did not die in the aftermath of the battle because of Xia Ping's intentional protection. Even so, Chang Xian and the others fainted and fell to the ground, unconscious. Chapter 1167. As expected of the disciple chosen by me, Corinne. Corinne stroked his white beard and was very satisfied with the situation. At this moment, the enemies were basically all dead, and there was no lack of powerful divinity realm cultivators among them. According to Xia Ping's current strength of fulfillment realm, there were not many people in the universe who could create such a battle record. God knows how many people would be scared to death if it was spread out. Corinne was very emotional. Chen Wei and the group of Gue Yuan sect disciples did not know what kind of terrifying devil they had offended. They brought this upon themselves. Moreover, once this group of people died, the entire soul stone mine would belong to them, and they would gain a lot of benefits. Alright, let's end this. At this moment, Xia Ping stepped forward and wanted to end Chen Wei's life with a palm. After all, he was a Gue Yuan sect disciple. If he let him escape, who knew what kind of trouble he would cause, so he had to eliminate him. Whoosh! But at this moment, Chen Wei, who was like a corpse and could not move, suddenly moved like the last radiance of a setting sun. He felt the murderous aura from Xia Ping. He straightened his body like a carp, and his figure flickered like a ghost. In an instant, he moved to Lu Rulan's side and stared at Xia Ping fiercely. Master Mutato, don't move. If you dare to take a step forward, this woman's life will be gone. At this moment, Chen Wei grabbed Lu Rulan as a hostage. His face was incomparably ferocious. Although he was seriously injured, he still had some strength left. It was easy for him to kill an unconscious person. Huh? As a Gue Yuan sect disciple, you actually used such a despicable method to capture a hostage. Don't you feel ashamed? Even if you die, you should at least die with some dignity. Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. Bullshit. Die my ass. Chen Wei scolded, damn you. What bullshit dignity? What's the use of dignity when you're dead? In short, if you dare to act rashly, I'll smash her head with a palm. I think you don't want to see such a beautiful woman die tragically in my hands. Don't you think it's a very fair thing to exchange her life for mine? In order to survive, he would use any means. Even if he was looked down upon as despicable and shameless, he would not care. In essence, he believed that everyone but himself was disposable. Chen Wei, I think you've misunderstood something. Do you think you can threaten me with her life? Do you really think I care about her? Xia Ping remained expressionless as he looked at Chen Wei calmly. Do you think I would let you go just to save her life? You overestimate the value of this woman. His tone was awe-inspiring, revealing a dense killing intent that caused others to tremble in fear. Master Potato, don't boast here, I have seen through your character. Chen Wei sneered, if you really don't care about this woman, come and slap me to death if you have the guts. At most, I'll take this woman down with me. But do you dare? Do you have guts? He could see that the essence of this Master Potato was a seductress, a pure seductress. He was reluctant to let go of this beautiful woman, so he was fearless. Moreover, this was his last resort. After all, if he couldn't even threaten Chen Wei, he would really die. No matter what, this was the last straw for him to live. Even if he really died, he had to hold on to it. Are you trying to provoke me? Xia Ping narrowed his eyes and stared at Chen Wei. But seeing Xia Ping's expression, Chen Wei became more and more arrogant. He thought that he had caught Xia Ping's weakness, son of a bitch, so what if I provoke you? Anyway, the hostage is in my hands. It's not that I look down on you, but you are a coward. If you have the guts, kill this woman and me. Come on, if you really have the guts, why don't you come and kill me? I'm right here, weak and powerless. If you have the guts, come and kill me. He shouted crazily. He seemed to have seen through Xia Ping's weakness and concluded that this kid didn't dare to make a move. Now, he had the momentum of having the hostage in his hands. Oh, then go to hell. Xia Ping looked at Chen Wei indifferently. What? Chen Wei was shocked. Is this kid really going to kill me without caring about the woman's life? This was completely out of his expectations. Whoosh! At that moment, the infinite war blades that had been hiding in the ground appeared. They shot out from the depths of the ground, moving at a speed 10 times faster than the speed of sound. Cutting through the ground was as easy as cutting through tofu. Not good. Chen Wei's expression changed. His body instinctively warned him of danger, but he had no idea where the danger was coming from. There was no killing intent in the surroundings. Bang! In the next second, a blade pierced out from the ground, causing the ground to crack and a huge hole to appear. In an instant, the infinite war blades pierced through Chen Wei's body. The infinite war blades contained a trace of the power of a sacred gear. It was not something that a mere divine realm cultivator could withstand. Even though his protective vigor was strong, the infinite war blades pierced through him like a piece of paper. His entire body split open from the middle, and just like that, he was cut into 2 halves by the sword. Large amounts of blood spurted out like a fountain, dripping and dripping. This. Chen Wei's eyes were filled with fear, regret, and unwillingness. He wanted to slap Lu Rulan to death before he died, but it was too late. The infinite war blades were faster than he could move. When he tried to make a move, his body was torn apart. I can't accept this. Just before his body was torn apart, Chen Wei roared into the sky in grief and anger. He was a disciple of the Gue Yuan sect and a divine realm cultivator. He had a bright future ahead of him, and he even had the chance to step into the sage realm in the future. However, he was killed on the spot in this aboriginal continent, losing his bright future. How could the ambitious Chen Wei be willing to accept this? How could he accept it? No matter how unwilling he was killed on the spot. Even a deity could not save him. Stupid. Xia Ping looked down at Chen Wei indifferently. The reason why he talked so much to Chen Wei was to distract the kid so that the infinite war blades could be used in secret. With the power of the infinite war blades and the fact that it did not have any killing intent, ordinary cultivators would not be able to detect its whereabouts. It was known as the strongest killer. Therefore, when it made its move, it unleashed its strongest power and killed Chen Wei in an instant. He did not even have the chance to fight back. He was killed just like that. How was he supposed to defend against such an attack? Chapter 1168. Am I dead? After some time, Lu Rolan slowly woke up. She opened her beautiful eyes and realized that she was lying on the ground. The moment she fainted, she thought she had entered the underworld. However, when she regained consciousness and felt the faint pain in her body, she immediately knew that she was not dead. She was still alive and well in this world. The magic power in my body has recovered. Could it be that the medicinal effect has passed? Lu Rolan suddenly realized that she had recovered her powerful magic and could move freely. She immediately stood up from the ground and realized that apart from herself and Xia Ping, there were not many people alive. She looked over and realized that the extraterrestrial devil, Xia Ping, was destroying the corpses. With a gentle tap of his finger, a flame shot out and landed on one of the corpses. Whoosh! After a few breaths, the corpse turned into ashes. A strong wind blew, and it disappeared from this world. A few minutes later, apart from Chang Xian and the rest who were unconscious, the rest of the corpses were gone. Lu Rolan felt like she was hallucinating. If it wasn't for the fact that the place was severely damaged with potholes everywhere, as well as the fact that she had just experienced something, she would have thought that nothing had happened. This bastard was too good at destroying corpses. How many evil things had he done? What happened? Are the others all dead? How long has it been? How did the poison in my body disappear? Lu Rolan stepped forward and asked Xia Ping a series of questions. Yes, they're all dead. Xia Ping nodded. Not too long. Only half an hour has passed. Also, I've detoxified the poison in your body, so you should be fine now. To him, detoxifying the poison in Lu Rolan's body was a piece of cake. As long as he inserted his flame, the poison would be burned away immediately. However, he did not do that earlier because he was worried that he would alert Chen Wei and the rest. However, it did not matter now that they were all dead. Are they all dead? Lu Rolan was relieved. She knew that her greatest enemy, Zhuo Hao, had been killed by Xia Ping and she had her revenge. However, she felt empty inside. She did not know what she would become in the future. By the way, come here. I've plundered a lot of things from the Huaining City Soul Palace Master. Can you identify what it is? Xia Ping called out to Lu Rolan and took out a pile of items. He had woken Lu Rolan up because of this matter. He wanted to know the origins of the treasures on Zhuo Hao. This is the soul nourishing pill. It's very beneficial for divine tier cultivators. It can increase the strength of the soul and is even more beneficial than soul stones. Moreover, there are no side effects. The medicinal effect is mild, but the price is shocking. Lu Rolan was very envious when she saw 4 to 5 bottles of such pills on the ground. Back then, the Lu family had to pay a huge price to obtain the soul cultivation pills. But now, Xia Ping had casually obtained 4 to 5 bottles of them. What a lucky bastard. Perhaps only a divine tier cultivator would have such precious pills. These pills were not only obtained from Zhuo Hao. Xia Ping had also plundered other divine tier cultivators from the soul tribe and had only obtained 4 to 5 bottles of the soul cultivation pills. And these are the more precious spiritual medicines in our blood-soul mainland. Golden thread ginseng, northern grass crow, earthroot grass, etc. Lu Rulan listed the spiritual medicines that Xia Ping had obtained in one breath. They were all beneficial to the human body. What about this? What's this badge? Xia Ping took out a black badge that was only the size of a palm. He felt that the black badge contained a mysterious power. It seemed to be engraved with a complicated and mysterious spiritual seal. It was unfathomable. This is the badge of the Soul Palace's branch. It's also the badge of the Palace Master. Seeing this badge is the same as seeing the Palace Master. Lu Rulan was shocked when she saw the badge. It was her first time seeing the Palace Master's badge. I heard that this badge is very precious and cannot be lost. After obtaining this badge, you can mobilize all the armed forces of the Soul Palace in Huaining City. Even all the seal formations in the Soul Palace's branch are under the control of this badge. With this badge, you can enter any forbidden ground in the Soul Palace's branch. You can even control the teleportation formation to report to the main hall. She told him everything she knew in one breath. There's such a thing. Seems like this badge is very useful. Xia Ping rubbed his chin and his eyes flickered. Baddie, what are you trying to do? Don't tell me you're trying to do something bad with this badge. Lu Rulan instinctively sensed that something bad was about to happen. She felt that the Soul Palace was a powerful item that had fallen into the hands of an extraterrestrial devil. If this extraterrestrial devil wanted to do something bad, the Soul Palace would not be able to stop him. Of course. Why would a good person like me want to do something bad? I just want to visit the Soul Palace, Xia Ping said with a smile. He could not forget about the inheritance of the Soul Tribe. Even though he had killed so many Soul Tribe warriors, he still could not find any spiritual secret skills. One could imagine how strict the Soul Tribe was in monitoring their secret skills. They would not allow it to be leaked. You really want to do something bad? Lu Rulan shouted, I advise you not to act recklessly. There are many experts in the Soul Palace. Who knows how many divine power realm cultivators there are? Their strength is not something Zhua Hao can compare with. If you dare to go in and you're discovered by the Soul Palace, you definitely won't be able to escape. I advise you to give up on such a dangerous idea. She tried her best to dissuade Xia Ping because she knew how terrifying this extraterrestrial devil was. If this baddie really entered the Soul Palace, there was no telling how much damage he would cause. It might even shake the entire blood-soul mainland. Something like the Soul Palace's headquarters being invaded by an extraterrestrial devil was simply unheard of. It was something that had not happened in the past tens of thousands of years. Don't worry. I'll only go in when I'm fully prepared. Xia Ping patted his chest. Lu Rulan's face turned green. As expected, he still wanted to go in. Moreover, he wanted to be fully prepared. Just how shocking was this extraterrestrial devil going to do before he would give up? That's right. I'll have to check the treasures on Chen Wei and the rest as well. Xia Ping ignored Lu Rulan. He made a grabbing motion with his hand and dozens of spatial rings appeared. They were all found on Chen Wei and the rest. They had all stored their treasures in the spatial rings. In the current universe, spatial rings were very common items. Basically, everyone had one. Chapter 1169. There seems to be a lot of elixirs. First of all, Xia Ping noticed that there were a lot of elixirs related to cultivation in the spatial rings of these people. He carefully counted and found at least 100 bottles with many different kinds of elixirs inside. Good stuff, they are very suitable for your cultivation and can increase your magic power. Corinne also saw the situation of these spatial rings and said, for example, this is the 5 elements pill from 5 elements sect, Lingyun sect's cloudy pill, and Guo Yuan sect's origin pill. They are all famous elixirs in the universe, and their value is not inferior to Qiankuan sect's universe pill. If you take one, it can save you at least 3 months of cultivation. Xia Ping knew that sacred level sects have their own unique elixirs, and 5 elements pill is said to contain the power of the 5 elements, which has a great effect on the human body, allowing the human body to reach a state of balance between the 5 elements. Cloudy pill is a unique elixir of Lingyun sect, which can nourish the body and heal internal injuries. It has great benefits for improving the quality of the human body, and can also promote the potential of the human body. Guo Yuan sect's origin pill is extremely fierce, and has the effect of 10,000 methods returning to 1. It is like a fierce elixir, and if the body can bear it, its cultivation effect is the first among all the elixirs. Of course, Qiankuan sect's yin and yang pill is also not bad, containing the power of yin and yang. It can only be said that each has its own strong points. Not bad, it seems that there are no less than 20 to 30,000 elixirs, this time I can be considered rich. Xia Ping was very happy, these elixirs are enough for him to cultivate to the divine power realm, it is simply a windfall. If he wanted to earn 30,000 yin and yang pills in a sect, he doesn't know how long he would have to wait. Robbery is really the first way to get rich, but the risk is a bit big, and if he fails, he will die. Moreover, in addition to elixirs, he also found the magic weapons on the bodies of these cultivators. In the universe, except for some poor ghosts, basically everyone has a treasure rank magic weapon, which can be said to be basic equipment. As disciples of sacred level sects, these cultivators naturally also have some magic weapons. Spirit tools are really too precious, and ordinary disciples can't have them, but there are still many high-grade treasure rank magic weapons. At least, Xia Ping found a lot of them from these spatial rings. Corinne carefully calculated, this time, Xia Ping obtained no less than 40 high-grade treasure rank magic weapons, 60 middle-grade treasure rank magic weapons, and a number of low-grade treasure rank magic weapons. These treasures were divided into sabers, swords, bows and arrows, halberds, drums, and so on. If he sold these treasured weapons, he would be able to get at least tens of millions of universe credits. Of course, the most precious of these magic treasures was the shadow-devouring demon sword in Chen Wei's hand. Its value was more than 10 times that of a high-grade artifact. Although this was a demon sword and was not suitable for Xia Ping to use, if he sold it, he would definitely make a lot of money. That's right, didn't this kid say that he had the red mist on him? Why can't I find it anywhere? Xia Ping rummaged through Chen Wei's spatial ring, but he couldn't find the poison. He must be bragging. Corinne disdainfully said, red mist is really too precious, it is incomparably difficult to obtain. If he really has red mist on him, he would have already taken it out when he fought with you just now. Also, if he really had this kind of poisonous fog, he would have killed all these soul warriors long ago. Why would he need to sign a mental contract with them and rely on cooperation to obtain soul stones? It believed that Chen Wei was lying. You're right. Xia Ping nodded, agreeing with Corinne's words. However, he was more or less regretful in his heart. If he could obtain the red mist, he would have one more trump card in his hand. Even if he encountered a strong enemy, he could use the red mist to deal with the enemy and catch them off guard. Although there is no red mist, I found a lot of poisons in this kid's spatial ring. There are slow-acting poisons, strong poisons, soul-inducing medicine, and so on. Corinne clicked his tongue and said, there is even the cultivation-dissolving poison that you guys were poisoned with. It seems that this kid is simply a little devil. He has long been accustomed to using such despicable methods. He is really well prepared. Corinne was also a little surprised. He found no less than 100 kinds of poisons in Chen Wei's spatial ring, each with a different effect. Some poisons could even easily kill a transcendent realm cultivator. It was likely that this was also Qin Wei's preparation in advance for entering the Blood-Soul continent. With these poisons, he could mix in this place like a fish in water and succeed in every endeavor. Cultivation dissolving poison. Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. He finally knew the name of the poison that could turn many cultivators' magic power into nothingness. It turned out to be called cultivation dissolving poison. It really lived up to its name. By the way, doesn't this poison need to be mixed together with two different materials to condense into cultivation dissolving poison? Won't it be very troublesome to use the poison like this? Xia Ping asked. Corinne shook his head. No, this is Qin Wei plotting against you. He only did this because he wanted to delay the poison in your body for half a day. That's why he mixed them together to delay the poison mist's effect. If you mix them in advance, you can make a bottle of colorless and odorless poisonous gas that will immediately take effect. If the enemy smells this poisonous gas, they will fall to the ground in less than 3 minutes. Now, there are 2 or 3 bottles of cultivation dissolving poison in this spatial ring. If you need it, you can immediately use it as a trump card. Corinne indicated that a poison like cultivation dissolving poison was classified as a forbidden drug in the universe. It only circulated in the black market and could not be sold openly. If one wanted to obtain it, they would have to pay a huge price. He didn't know what method Qin Wei of Gue Yuan sect had used to obtain it. This is good. Xia Ping touched his chin. He knew how powerful this poison was. It could silently knock down the enemy. It was simply a necessary medicine for home travel, murder, and arson. Under certain circumstances, the effect of this poison was astonishing. After half an hour, Xia Ping and Corinne finished taking inventory of the treasures on their body. Then, Xia Ping carried away the unconscious Chang Xian and the others and placed them in a secret cave 100 miles away. He wasn't interested in detoxifying the poison in Chang Xian and the others. So, he let them continue to sleep. Otherwise, when they woke up, it would be very difficult for him to explain himself. Moreover, Xia Ping wasn't interested in explaining such a thing. In short, after leaving the Blood-Soul continent, it would be very difficult for him to meet Chang Xian and the others. Their fate would end here. As for whether they would live or die in the future, it would depend on their luck. Chapter 1170. In the Cave of the Mineral Vein. Xia Ping and Lu Rulan strolled in and saw many digging tools on the ground. There were traces of digging and gravel everywhere. However, it seemed like it was just the beginning and the work had not been going on for a long time. Lu Rulan knew that it was normal. After all, it had not been long since Shua Hao obtained the Soul Stone mineral vein. Moreover, he had to send people to kill them and do all sorts of things to cover up his actions. They were even unlucky enough to encounter Qin Wei and the rest who had descended from the sky, causing them to be unable to excavate the soul stones properly. That was why they were still in a state where they had yet to begin. As expected of a soul stone mineral vein. The spiritual energy is so dense. Xia Ping took a deep breath. As soon as he entered the cave, he could sense the dense spiritual energy. It seemed like a slight breath could increase his spiritual energy slightly. Even though he had devoured the remnant spiritual energy of Zhua Hao and the rest, it could not compare to the soul stone mineral vein. It was like a paradise. How do you want to excavate it? Lu Rulan looked at Xia Ping as if she was watching a show. It was not easy to excavate a mountain. Although the destructive power of a cultivator on divine level was shocking, it did not mean that he could excavate the mineral vein easily. If he used too much strength, he might even shatter the soul stone. By then, the loss would outweigh the gain. However, if he was not careful, the entire mountain would collapse and he would be buried alive in the mountain. It would be even more difficult to excavate the soul stone. Even if none of those things happened, it would take a long time to excavate the entire mineral vein. It would take at least a few months. It's just a small matter. Xia Ping smiled. He had already thought of what to do. With a swoosh, the golden slime appeared on the ground. What? Lu Rolan was shocked. It was her first time seeing such a strange creature. However, since it was released by Xia Ping, she did not think it would be too dangerous. Moreover, the creature was soft like a ball and looked very cute. Compared to the ferocious beasts, it was a mascot that made people want to hug it. Let's do it. Dig out the soul stones here. Xia Ping gave an order to the golden slime. He reckoned that there were very few creatures in the universe that could match the golden slime's mining speed. After all, it was a unique creature that grew by devouring various substances in the world. Mining was a common thing for it. Slime. The golden slime cried out. All of a sudden, its entire body split apart. In just a few breaths' time, hundreds and thousands of golden slimes appeared on the empty ground. However, these golden slimes were much smaller than the original, only the size of a fist. This was the slime's splitting ability. They could split into multiple clones and increase the speed of devouring. The golden slimes were the pinnacle existences of the slimes race, and their cloning abilities were naturally top-notch. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Hundreds and thousands of golden slimes cried out. They immediately moved into the depths of the mine, opened their mouths, and began to devour the huge rocks. At once, the rocks in the entire cave disappeared at a speed visible to the naked eye, as if they were melted by some substance and were devoured into the stomach of the golden slime. That's fast. Lu Rolan's beautiful eyes widened. She could not believe her eyes. Under the devouring of the golden slime, the entire mine seemed to have disappeared. It was as if the entire mountain was being devoured by the golden slime. Even top-notch mining experts could not match up to such a mining speed. Moreover, it was as if its stomach was loaded with a dimensional bag. No matter how much it devoured, it could not be filled. Half a day passed in the blink of an eye. Under the devouring of the golden slime, the entire mountain seemed to have been hollowed out. In fact, it was hundreds of meters underground. At this moment, a small hill of soul stones appeared on a huge empty ground. These were all excavated by the golden slime. After a careful count, there were at least 100,000 soul stones. This was an astronomical number. Even in the entire Blood Soul mainland, it was a shocking number. Such rich soul energy. Xia Ping was shocked too. The energy of 100,000 soul stones stacked together was extremely shocking. Even with his current cultivation, his brain would explode if he were to devour 100,000 soul stones. He estimated that these soul stones could at least support his cultivation to the true fire realm. As compared to the sect mission, he had already completed far more soul stones than the mission required. To be able to obtain so many soul stones, seems like Xia Ping will evolve faster than expected. Perhaps he will have the ability to search for the treasure left behind by the old master soon. Corinne's eyes flickered as if he was thinking about something. Oh my god. Lu Rolan was shocked too. Even as a native of the Blood Soul mainland, she had never seen so many soul stones. Even the combined wealth of 10 Lu families back then would not be this much. It was no wonder that Zhua Hao, the leader of the Hall of Souls in Huaining City, wanted to kill the Lu family. Who wouldn't be tempted by such a shocking amount of wealth? Slime. The golden slime was also very excited, because it sensed that the soul stone was also very beneficial to its evolution. Don't worry, you can eat some of them too. Xia Ping patted the golden slime's little head. He could not devour so many soul stones with him. Moreover, if the golden slime became stronger, it would benefit him greatly too. At this moment, the golden slime's doppelgangers had almost dug out the entire mineral vein and reached the end. Slime. Suddenly, the golden slime called out as if it was in trouble. Swoosh swoosh swoosh. Immediately, hundreds and thousands of slime doppelgangers returned to their original bodies. The golden slime sent a telepathic message to Xiaoping, informing him of what had happened to the slime doppelgangers. What? You said that there's a huge barrier at the end of the mineral vein and you can't break in? There might be a relic here. Xiaoping raised his eyebrows. He did not expect to dig out a relic barrier while digging out a mineral vein. He waved his hand and placed all the soul stones into his space ring. Then, he followed the golden slime deep into the mineral vein and reached the end quickly. Lu Rolan followed Xiaoping. There really is a barrier. When Xiaoping arrived at the end of the mineral vein, he immediately noticed a layer of black energy shrouding the surroundings. It was like a space barrier, isolating all the surrounding objects. Chapter 1171. Saint Blood's soul must have stayed here before. However, it was just a temporary residence for him. There doesn't seem to be any treasures here. Xiaoping felt very regretful. Aside from this painting, he did not seem to find any other powerful treasures. Originally, he wanted to obtain a saint artifact. That way, he would really be rich. Lu Rolan looked at the extraterritorial fiend in disdain. Obtaining that calligraphy piece was already considered a stroke of great luck. Yet, it wanted to obtain a saint's treasure. It was simply a dream. But when she thought about it carefully, that calligraphy piece seemed to be an incredible treasure. The thought of a treasure that belonged to the blood-soul continent being snatched away by an extraterritorial fiend made her heart ache. Fortunately, there weren't many treasures here. Otherwise, the blood-soul continent would have suffered great losses. Xiaoping, this space array formation has been figured out. You can go deep into the core and thoroughly refine it, and then you can master the entire space array formation. Corinne said. Xiaoping nodded his head. His divine sense seeped in and immediately found the core of the array formation. He then began to refine it. Because there was no master, it was very easy for him to refine the array formation. A moment later, a black talisman appeared in his hand. It was like a sphere, slowly rotating and emitting wisps of spatial aura. It was the core of the formation. He could feel that with this black talisman, he could control the entire formation at will. The defensive power of the formation increased by several times, and at the same time, he could teleport from any location at any time. It was very convenient. But what's the use of you controlling this array formation? You can't move it away, moreover, there are no treasures in this place, and you won't stay here for too long. Corinne asked very doubtfully. He felt that refining this array formation was useless. I have a pretty good plan. Perhaps I can earn a large sum of soul stones or even kill 2 birds with 1 stone and sneak into Soul Palace's headquarters. Xiaoping rubbed his chin as a cunning glint flashed across his eyes. In reality, he had an idea when he found out that this place was once the residence of the Blood-Soul Saint. What plan? For some reason, Corinne's body couldn't help but shiver. He always felt that this bastard has a belly full of evil water. This time, he doesn't know how many people will die. Do you have a way to make a photocopier? Xiaoping asked. Corinne nodded his head. This is not a problem. There are countless nano-maintenance robots in the space ring, as well as 3D printing machines. There are also enough materials. Making a photocopier is simply a piece of cake. It could be said that the space ring had become a small-scale factory for the sake of repairing the stars. It was extremely technologically advanced, and as long as the machine was not too complicated, it could be manufactured. That's good. Xiaoping was very satisfied. What do you want to do? Corinne asked again. He was very curious. Xiaoping did not continue speaking. He took out a pen and paper from his space ring and came to the study. He sat on a chair and began to write at great speed. Lu Rolan walked over and glanced at it curiously. It said, I, the Blood Soul Saint, am not dead yet. I'm just sealed by the enemy in a valley hundreds of miles away from Huaining City. I can't leave at the moment. If anyone can bring 100 soul stones to the sealed valley to save me, once I escape, I will definitely make you the Soul Palace master, and your power will overturn the world. Scoundrel, what are you trying to do? The corner of Lu Rulan's mouth twitched, and she looked at Xia Ping speechlessly. As you can see, I'm planning to trick a group of people to give me soul stones. I'll get them to throw them into this space formation, and then I'll reap the benefits and get rich overnight, Xia Ping said carelessly. You're crazy. Do you think the people of the Blood Soul mainland are so stupid that they'll be tricked by your dirty tricks? Don't look down on people. Lu Rulan was speechless. She didn't even know what to say. This extraterritorial fiend was simply audacious to the extreme. He actually dared to use the name of a sage to cause trouble, and even wanted to swindle 100 soul stones. He must have gone crazy thinking of soul stones. To be honest, when she read the words above, she felt that they were all fake and pitiful. How could such words possibly deceive anyone? Did the extraterritorial demons really think that the people of the Blood Soul continent had the intelligence of a 3-year-old? How could they be tricked by such obvious words, and even say that the Blood Soul Saint was not dead? What a joke. Don't worry about it. If some idiots come over, I'll be rich. Xia Ping ignored Lu Rulan's disdainful look and immediately ordered Corinne to make 1,000,000 copies of the paper. He wanted to spread the news across the entire Blood Soul mainland. Although the Blood Soul mainland was huge, there were only 108 super cities. Most of the other places were deserts, mountains, oceans, and so on. As for some of the more remote villages and small towns, they were probably so poor that they could not even fork out a single soul stone. Therefore, all he had to do was to target these super cities and attract all the cultivators of Divinity Realm from the big cities. Alright. Corinne also felt that the idea was unreliable, but since it was Xia Ping's order, he did not reject it. After all, he would know whether it was effective or not when the time came. An hour later, Xia Ping and Lu Rulan left the space formation, intending to head to Huaining City. To spread the news across the 108 cities of the Blood Soul mainland, they had to use the teleportation formation of the Hall of Souls in order to quickly head to other cities. Otherwise, God knew how long it would take to reach other cities given the size of the Blood Soul mainland. Xia Ping was not worried about not being able to use the teleportation formation of the Hall of Souls because he had the Hall of Souls token left behind by Zhuo Hao. With the token and the disguise mask, he could completely transform into Zhuo Hao and deceive the people of the Hall of Souls. What are you doing? Lu Rulan looked at Xia Ping and her mind was filled with question marks. This was because she saw that Xia Ping, the extraterritorial demon, was actually acting as a road marker in this valley. She did not know where this fellow had found a huge rock and written a few words on it, Blood Soul Saint's seal. Moreover, he had even made direction signs on the trees along the way from the valley to Huaining City. All of them pointed to the original soul stone vein, as if he was afraid that people would not be able to find the way. Of course I'm making a road sign. What if someone comes looking for me but can't find the valley? I'm serving the people, Xia Ping said carelessly. Bullshit. Lu Rulan looked at Xia Ping in disdain. How was he serving the people? He was clearly worried that people would not be able to find the valley and would not be able to scam the soul stones. Then again, which idiot would be fooled by such a lie? Not a single person would come. By then, everything the extraterrestrial devil did would be useless. Chapter 1172. Huaining City. This was a super city that could accommodate hundreds of millions of people. It was vast and had antique buildings, like an ancient city. Countless soul race members lived here. The center of Huaining City was not the city lord's mansion, but a soul palace. A huge building occupied the most central position and looked majestic. From this, one could see the importance of Seoul Palace. Its power was above the city lord. At this moment, Xia Ping and Lu Rulan appeared in front of Huaining City's Seoul Palace. I'm finally back. Lu Rulan was very emotional. Ever since she left Huaining City a few days ago, she never thought she would come back so soon. Moreover, she came back openly and the enemy was already dead. Now that she had changed her appearance, she did not have to worry about her real identity being discovered by acquaintances. As expected of an important place in this native continent. The security is really tight. Xia Ping narrowed his eyes. He could feel that this huge building had built a huge formation that covered an area. If an enemy dared to enter, they would definitely suffer an unimaginable blow. Even divine realm cultivators would die. Be careful, I sense that there seems to be an enemy following you in the surroundings. After entering Huaining City, the other party has been following behind us. Corinne warned. He had detected an unknown danger in the vicinity, which might be an enemy of divine power realm. However, he was very confused. Their previous actions were very secretive and there should not be any witnesses. Why were they being followed as soon as they came to Huaining City? Moreover, Xia Ping had already changed his appearance to Zhuahao, which was completely different from before. It's okay, I know who the enemy is. Xia Ping narrowed his eyes and looked at the corner of the street. There were a few sneaky figures. They thought that their whereabouts were very secretive, but they did not know that they were already exposed in the system. He also knew who was following him. They were the famous 7-Kill Gang. When the 7-Kill Gang showed killing intent towards him, it was already detected by the Super Aggro system. However, the 7-Kill Gang was very far away from him, so he temporarily ignored them. However, he didn't expect that these assassins were so capable that they could actually follow him. However, in Huaining City, the great origin of the Soul Clan, the 7-Kills Gang would not dare to kill without confidence. After all, not only did they want to kill Xia Ping, but they also wanted to get out of here alive. They did not want to perish together. Mad Slaughter Saint, I didn't expect to offend such an enemy. But since I've taken Dark North Saint as my master, there must be a loss. Xia Ping's eyes flickered. But it's not a good thing to let the 7 Murders Gang continue to follow us. It seems that I have to find a chance to eliminate these killers. Thinking of this, he and Lu Rulan walked into Huaining City's Seoul Palace. Lord Zhuahao. At this moment, the guards at the gate of Seoul Palace immediately noticed Xia Ping's presence. They immediately greeted him in fear and trepidation, because he was one of the most influential figures in Huaining City. If they offended him, it would be a light punishment if their heads fell to the ground. It can't be. Lord Zhuahao has returned. That's great. We've been out for so many days. I thought something had gone wrong. That's strange. Why is there only Lord Zhuahao with a woman? Where are the other guards? A group of Seoul Palace managers received the news and immediately came out to greet them. However, they quickly realized that aside from Zhuahao and Lu Rulan, there was no one else. They still have important matters to attend to. I ordered them to carry out a secret mission. Xia Ping stood with his hands behind his back, as if telling them not to ask too much. Otherwise, he would flip out on the spot. Everyone immediately shut up, not daring to ask any more questions. Yo, Zhuahao, you truly have quite the grandeur. You've become arrogant after becoming a Seoul Palace branch palace master. Do you think that Seoul Palace's power is your own? Using public tools for personal gain, do you know how great of a crime this is? I can report to Seoul Palace's palace master at any moment to remove your black hat, do you understand? A middle-aged man with a voice like a rooster's voice walked out. He had a pair of triangular eyes and a sinister and cunning expression. He looked at Xia Ping with resentment. Who do you think you are? Xia Ping glanced sideways at the middle-aged man. A middle-aged manager's face lost color and quickly said in a low voice, "Lord Zhuahao, you can't do that. This is Elder Tan Bo from Seoul Palace's main palace. He's an imperial envoy. I heard he seemed to know you before." His expression was a bit strange. He felt that it was too strange that Zhuahao didn't know this Elder Tan Bo. Lu Rulan's heart skipped a beat. Don't tell me their impersonation of Zhuahao was exposed. No. How would I know such a small character? Don't joke around. Xia Ping stood with his hands behind his back. He looked at Tan Bo with even more disdain. He didn't look guilty at all, instead confidently saying he didn't know this person. Zhuahao, small character. Who the hell is a small character? You really have the guts to say such things. I haven't seen you for a while, and you've become so arrogant. Hearing this, Tan Bo's nose almost went crooked from anger. He felt like smoke was coming out of his 7 orifices. He wanted to rush up and beat Xia Ping up. He thought that Zhuahao had said those words on purpose to pick a fight with him. He was mocking him in front of so many people, saying that he, Tan Bo, was just a small character that people couldn't remember. He and Zhuahao had a grudge before, and their relationship wasn't good. They almost fought when they met. He didn't expect it to be even more ridiculous this time. Zhuahao even said that he didn't know him. How preposterous. The people around them broke out in cold sweat. It was really a fight between immortals, and it was the little devil who suffered. However, they also realized that it wasn't that Zhuahao didn't know Tan Bo, but that he was being sarcastic. Although they had heard that Zhuahao and Tan Bo didn't have a good relationship, they didn't expect it to be this bad. Lu Rulan, on the other hand, was frightened out of her wits. These extraterritorial fiends were really daring to say something like that. If anyone were to find out about their true identities, they might not even know how they died. How could this idiot be so daring? It's none of your business. If there's nothing else, get lost. I've been out for a long time, and I'm tired. I want to rest, and I don't have the energy to talk nonsense with you. Xia Ping waved his hand and ordered his guest to leave. Rest? Rest my ass. I think you want to come back and flirt with women. Tan Bo's gloomy eyes fell on Lu Rulan. Looking at her perfect face, curvaceous body, and holy aura like a saintess, he was extremely jealous. Such a beautiful woman actually fell into Zhuahao's hands. The heavens really didn't have eyes. This bastard's life in Huaining City was truly comfortable. There were many benefits, and it was many times better than staying in Seoul Palace's main palace as a monk. In reality, although he was a Seoul Palace main palace elder, and his position was slightly higher than Zhuahao's, in terms of actual power and enjoyment, he was still lacking. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.